The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It sure sounds like several Jets players and even Aaron Glenn are ripping the previous coaching staff. We'll talk about that. Plus, the Jets are on the field right now in full pads, something we have not seen in a very long time. Tackling, it's happening. We'll break that down and much more. And the winners of the Asmaniac Weekly Raffle will be announced during the stream as well. It's the Jake Asman Show. Training camp continues, and our show starts right now.
Man, AG's first training camp with the New York Jets is underway.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quentin Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Here on a Monday, start of a new week. Welcome in, everybody. Click that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. We talk Jets each and every day and twice a day, Monday through Friday, 4 hours a day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the place to be if you're a Jet fan. Aaron Glenn will speak coming up. We will hear from the Jet head coach after the Jets' first training camp practice in full pads. But let's talk about some of the comments that have been making the headlines the last couple of days around the New York Jets. And I want to start with some player comments before we get to what Glenn himself said. And I think you could directly bring it all back to some very specific examples of what we have seen over the last few years. A complete lack of accountability from the New York Jets, from Robert Saleh on downward. So this was Elijah Vera-Tucker the other day being asked about Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson signing extensions, and they both said they believe Aaron Glenn can be the guy that could turn things around. So AVT was asked about that, and listen to what he said here.
Kind of backing on what Sauce and Garrett said, I can see this thing turning around for sure, especially with Glenn, the type of coach he is. He praises physicality, but even more like accountability. I think that's very important for a head coach to do. It's something I haven't seen as much of in my career.
So the key word there is accountability, right? Accountability. It sure as hell feels like that is a trend. We've heard multiple players reference accountability. It does feel like there is clearly a notable difference for the players between what they've experienced under Saleh and then Ulbrich to what we now have with AG. Need more examples? This was Breece Hall being asked about Aaron Glenn.
Practicing in the morning we like that a lot more than practicing at 11, 12, and it's 90 degrees already, so that's a lot nicer. But I just like the way practice, just the whole operation throughout the day is run. Coach Glenn has done a great job of not only being a player's coach, but making sure that we get the right amount of work in too. So it's been cool to see how he goes about his business and the standard he set for everybody. So for me, it just makes me want to come in every day and do my 111th every time I'm out on the field.
Think about what Breece is saying there, right? He's saying that Aaron Glenn is able to still be a player's coach and make sure the Jets get their work in and players are being held accountable. That Glenn is setting a different standard to what these guys have been used to. And this team has arguably been one of the worst coach teams in the league the last couple of years, especially on the offensive side of the ball. There was no standard. There was no accountability. And then we saw how big of a disaster everything ended up being last year. Saleh was a really good defensive coach. He was not a head coach. And that ultimately was proven last year. Saleh obviously had a lot of people who liked him. That's why the players fell apart without him last year. Tough to fire your coach 5 games in, but it was like a country club environment. He was everyone's friend. He was everyone's buddy. That's the biggest difference. So I think these are some positive signs here from Brees, from AVT, what Tyrod has said about Glenn. I think this is all great stuff. But this, I think, is the most damning answer. And I don't think Glenn is doing this on purpose, and he's not naming Robert Saleh here. But Will McDonald on Saturday had this great practice, according to everyone who was there. And he had a move against Armand Membu where instead of Will McDonald had his patented spin move that he uses with his speed, Will McDonald had a bull rush, and he dominated the rep. So then Aaron Glenn was asked by Connor Hughes about that. And listen to Glenn's answer here. And doesn't this speak volumes about why the Jets have failed during this playoff drought, and hopefully what the biggest difference now will be with Aaron Glenn and this coaching staff?
We saw a lot of that. The speed last year, we saw a lot of with Will.
Yep.
The spins, the coming around the edge. The power that he put on, I don't know if you need the replay if you haven't seen it yet, but he went over him at one point. Is that even a new element to his game when you said he added some weight?
Coaching.
Is that now what he can do?
Coaching. It's coaching.
How so? Like, what do you mean?
Because he can do it. You just said he's never done it last year, right?
Not much.
Now you see him do it. It's just coaching. That's all it is.
Coaching. Coaching. How do you not love that? He's right. And I think that was some of our biggest frustrations, right? No one got better. Guys just kind of stayed the same. And it felt like the previous staff, it was, hey, you do this really well, so we're going to just coach you up how to continue to get better at what you already do well. Right? Will McDonald, oh, you got this great speed rush move? That's all we're going to have you do. We're going to simplify things. And Aaron Glenn comes from the school of thought of, hey, we're here to coach these guys to get them better at what they're not already good at, so they can be better players. Like Will McDonald adding weight, being better against the run this year, being more of an all-around defensive lineman. That's huge for the Jets. Yeah, this guy was a top 15 pick in the draft. Sure, obviously you can have a long career in the league if he's just going to be just a speed rusher and he can only come in on third downs. But you want all-around players. Like, that answer from Glenn is so significant. It just kind of represents, hopefully, a sign of things that are finally changing around the Jets. Like, they're actually going to be properly coached up and guys are going to be developed. Like, that's such a damning answer for Robert Saleh and the previous regime. It's coaching. Like, that's what you want. That's what you want to hear. So I feel like these are all positive signs. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this team's winning 9 or 10 games now or any of that, but they're going to be better coached this year. I think there's no way they could be worse. And then finally, we talked about this when it happened on the show, but I thought Glenn's answer last week about the Jets penalty problem that they had a year ago, and specifically how Glenn wants the officials to be at practice every single training camp practice, unlike last year when the Jets did not have any officials at practice. And they led the NFL in penalty yards, and they led the NFL in defensive penalties. They were an undisciplined disaster. And this was Glenn last week basically saying that bleep is not going to fly this year.
I want the officials here as much as possible, and they know that. And it's no secret that we were the most penalized team in the league last year. So that's one of the things that I want to nip in the bud early, of making sure that the discipline part of what we do, that we fix that now. You cannot win games in this league with an undisciplined team. So all the penalties that we had last year, we're knocking those things out, and we want to make sure that we're good at that. Even the details of what we do. Like, we can't have any MAs, and I know they happen, all right, but we're striving for perfection in that situation of every detail when it comes to offense and defense, that we're on top of that, and we're trying to make sure we be good on that too. So the officials are going to be here. We're going to knock that out. All right, I would tell you that we're going to knock these penalties out. We're going to understand that undisciplined teams do not win games.
Love that. How do you not love that? So once again, the Jets were an undisciplined disgrace last year. Now, hopefully, this is the guy that turns things around. I think Aaron Glenn's done a great job so far. Now, they don't keep score in training camp. They don't keep score in the preseason. The games don't matter. Press conferences don't necessarily equate to wins, but I think if you're a Jet fan who's not at least more excited than you were, you're not being honest with yourself. And I get that this fan base was down bad, and rightfully so. But I think when you hear those comments from the players and what Glenn is preaching, and you're reading the tweets at a camp today, and we'll be joined by Nick Faria this afternoon, who's at training camp now, and can recap the first day of pads being on and live tackling drills. When you hear about that and the comments from the players once again about them being held accountable and the leadership being better and showing up to work, you feel more confident in the structure of the organization. These are all good things. These are all good things. So those are some great positive things that have happened. And of course, the biggest positive has been Justin Fields is healthy. He was a full participant, it sounds like, at practice today. He was in 11 on 11s. So Justin Fields, who we thought on Thursday might have been done for the year, was now out at practice today, and he participated. So that's great stuff. Speaking of practice, we're going to hear from Aaron Glenn shortly. He's speaking with the media. Before we do that, though, I do want to share with everyone watching live right now that at the end of the stream, we're going to give away a Garrett Wilson jersey. You pick the size and color, green or white, and we send it to you. So gift memberships to enter. And once we get done with Aaron Glenn's press conference, we will be having the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Thanks to everyone who entered. Your chance to win a Name It signed helmet and a Justin Fields signed helmet. But an extra prize available for all, a Garrett Wilson jersey in the color of your choice. So thanks to everyone who continues to support this channel. And quick PSA before we go to Aaron Glenn, I am hosting on ESPN New York this evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So listen on 880 a.m. or the ESPN New York app, taking you right till Mets pregame as the Mets are out west against the Padres as their West Coast trip continues. With that said, let's head live to One Jets Drive where the head coach of the NYJ, Aaron Glenn, is standing by.
All right, obviously the first day in pads, a day that we all been looking forward to, and like most teams, once you get to that first day, everybody's thinking about the physical part of it, and what actually kind of gets to the wayside is the discipline and the details, and that kind of showed up today, which I expected, but I thought the guys bounced back fairly well as practice started to progress, so I'm proud of that. But that's something that we got to hone in on, because I said it before, undisciplined teams lose games. So we had a couple of penalties that we got to clean up, and we will. When it comes to the injury front, we have one injury, which is being evaluated, but it looks like a knee to Big Gus. So I know something later on this afternoon to be able to give you guys the information on that. So any questions?
With the physicality, right? Some bringing guys to the ground.
Yeah.
That's not something we've seen here. Big Rex, Ryan, my last coach, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
In the way the NFL is going now, that's rare. I think people are worried about injury. Why are you not worried about the injury, and why do you feel like that's important to bring them all the way to the ground?
I think injuries are a part of this game, and there's no way to hide from it. Usually when you do try to hide from it, that's when they usually pop up. But man, the principles of this game will never change. This game's about running, blocking, and tackling. And if you don't practice that, me as a head coach, how am I giving our guys a chance to win? And the only way to get better at something is to rep it. And I'm not saying we're going to tackle every practice, but the thing is we're going to put ourselves in position to do it, or we're going to do it. And the guys understand that. They knew that coming in. I think I like about it is they bought into that, and they understand that too. And they understand I'm trying to do everything I can to help them win games. So it's part of it. Listen, I've been a part of injuries, and listen, you can't run from them.
Hey, geez, in terms of that, I mean, as a player who comes from a two-a-day culture,
Yeah.
where this stuff is going on all the time, A, how much do you look forward to this day, and B, kind of going off of what you're just talking about,
Yeah.
will you tend to use that a little bit more because it makes your team tougher?
Yeah. Well, this league changes like every year, and the thing that you have to do as a coach, you got to be very innovative on how you want to get things done. And between me and the staff, and we think constantly on how can we end up getting our guys better, and how can we make sure that we go above board of not letting our players think that we're afraid of injury, but also letting them know that, man, we have to do this. Like, we have to, because there's no way I can put you out on that field without prepping for these things that I know that's going to happen in the game. Like, you're going to be in a position where you have to elude somebody in space. You're going to be in a position where you have to tackle somebody in space. And again, the only way to get better at that is to do it. And listen, I understand everything this league is doing on the protection side of it. I understand the afternoon walkthroughs that we have, and they're very valuable for us. We take as much as we can when we go out on the grass. So that's what we plan on doing every time we get a chance to.
Do you find that like certain players maybe emerge more when it becomes physical and you're tackling and there's pads, like because of the way they play, kind of thing?
Well, I think you try to create an identity of your team, and you start to figure out like who's going to be a part of that identity. And that's what the evaluation process is, man. We're evaluating in the meeting room. We're evaluating on the field. And, again, they all know that that's a part of who we're going to be. And the good thing is, man, they look forward to it. You know, every one of those guys that's in the locker room, they look forward to it. And they want it, too. And to me, that's what I'm happy about more than anything is they look forward to going out on the field. They look forward for the physical part. They look forward to me stressing them mentally and physically. Because they know it's going to help them, and they know it's going to help us as a team and as an organization get to where we want to get.
Justin didn't seem limited at all today. Like, what did you see from him coming back?
Well, he was limited, but he was limited the way that we want to be limited. You know, so he made some good throws out there. And, again, when Justin get on the field, I mean, we're going to let him be who he is. And there are some things that he did today that I was very pleased with. But there's also some things he got to get better at, too. You know, he knows that. So, yeah, he was out there with us, and every day I look forward to him just maturing and getting better.
What do you mean by limited the way you didn't want him to run as much, stuff like that? Or
Just limited the way that we want him to be limited. I just keep it at that.
Tyler Johnson, obviously you signed him in free agency. Just what was it about him that made him attractive, and how do you think he's looked out here?
The first thing I remember about Tyler was playoff game. We were playing against him, and the first route he ran a shallow crosser, and our guys in Detroit did a good job of getting him down. Ran another shallow crosser, put his foot in the ground, redirected, and I think he gained like 60 yards. And that in itself just shows like his ability to be able to feel like where DBs are at. And I thought he was smart, understood exactly where to sit in zone, how to create leverage in man. So listen, he might not be the fastest guy, he might not be the quickest guy, but sometimes when you're smart as he is, man, you can create things that other guys with all that speed and agility can't, because he understands leverage, he understands how to sit in zone. So that was the one thing looking at him, and once we had a chance to sign him, it was a no-brainer for us.
What do you see out of Braylon Allen? You obviously kind of came in here to two pretty good running backs, and what does he bring, and how does he fit with Reese?
Well, besides Clem, he's the next guy I would like to look like, you know. So big, physical, tough. Man, he has a worksman mentality. He doesn't say much. He just wants to work. Really good teammate. Understands the situation that we're all in when it comes to how we're going to progress with this team. And he's not afraid to go play special teams. You know, no matter what the situation is, even if he's a starter, he understands that he still wants his job on special teams. So I want a team of guys like that. And we have a team of guys like that. They're unselfish. They want to do whatever it is to win. And, like, I'm really proud of the way that he goes about his business, just like a lot of the guys that we have. And I can pick those guys out easy.
Strong praise for Braylon Allen. Is Aaron Glenn's press conference live after the first padded practice?
Man, Brees is a guy. I told Brees this today because we split Brees out in a one-on-one situation. He made a play, and I told him that's going to be an element of his game that we're going to try to make sure that we utilize.
Ooh.
And with Braylon, man, short yard shouldn't be no short yardage. With Braylon, a 240-pound man that's always falling forward. Listen, that's where he's going to make his money. And I'm not just saying in short, just being able to those downhill runs is going to weigh on defensive players. And when you continue to do that, man, you just create something as far as a team, as far as an identity, that this league will take notice of. And I'm looking forward to that.
Love that on Brees being split out wide. No short yardage or Braylon Allen. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
Hit the like button, everyone. Subscribe to the channel. Daily Jets coverage.
Well,
Jake
Jan
Asman
has
Show.
been doing a really good job. Obviously, you saw him today make some plays. And, man, you saw him today in the tackling drill, like make these open field tackles. That's what we're trying to do. And young fella, 2'7", it's not. He's going to be a hell of a player in this league, and I'm not going to tell you who I compare him to, but he's going to do some really good things for us. And I'm not saying it's going to be at a starter level, and it can be. He's out there competing, and we're seeing if he can get a job, and he understands that. But there are other things that we can do with that player on special teams and certain defensive packages where he's going to be to excel.
Malachi Moore, strong praise there from Glenn. We're giving away a Garrett Wilson jersey at the end of the show for those tuning in. Get the membership to be eligible.
But the relationship is outstanding, and the ability to sit and talk with him and really let him know what my feelings are. And he's going to let me know what his feelings are too, which I like. And I think that's how men operate. You talk about things, you try to improve, and then you make it happen. And that's the one thing I would say to his credit he has done. And you guys can see it within the building. You guys can see it within the team as far as assigning these guys. So I love everything about it.
How do you evaluate his tackling? What would you try to bring down?
He's always trying to tackle me. Every time he sees me, he tries to tackle me. So I returned the favor today. So I got him before he got me.
I don't think we've seen any fights. Sometimes when the Pats come on, you see fights. Is that something you emphasize to them to avoid, or is that something you're okay with, the little skirmishes?
Like, these guys are grown men, and when it comes to that, I don't have to tell them, guys, no fight. I mean, they're not kids. So they understand what it takes to win. And once you get into those skirmishes, and they're going to happen, I know it, but it takes time away from what we're trying to do. And the players understand that. Man, they have a workman-like mentality, and all they want to do is get this drill done, do the best they can in this drill, and okay, let's go to the next one. Get that drill done, do the best they can in the drill, and let's go to the next one. And that's what winning teams do, right? Winning teams don't waste time fighting and all that. I mean, for everybody else, it kind of looks good, but to us, it wastes time. Everything we do is intentional, and we're trying to do whatever we can to win games, and that's what starts on the grass.
Aaron, how do you change your coaching style as a Bill Parcells disciple, as a tough coach, for 2025? Some of the stuff Bill did 30, 40 years ago, yelling and screaming, maybe doesn't resonate the same in 2025 with the modern athletes. So how do you take all the good things of Bill and perhaps you can do things exactly like him?
Well, first off, I'm Aaron Glenn. I'm not Bill. So
love that.
That really is answering your question.
But as far as the style of coaching in 2025?
I have my own style of coaching.
Love that.
Listen, I learned a lot from Bill, but Aaron Glenn's going to show up like on the field, on the grass, with the players every time.
But can you yell at players like you could 20 years ago?
My personality is going to show up on the field every time. Have you seen me do it? My personality is going to show up on the field every time.
Thanks, everybody. Go in the ring tomorrow?
Say it again?
Go in the ring? Go in the ring tomorrow, Phil?
That's Aaron Glenn's presser after the first full pad practice of 2025. Jets had tackling drills, physicality, refreshing. Let's react to some key takeaways from what we just heard from Glenn. The first thing to note is there was, unfortunately, an injury to one of the rookie offensive linemen that the Jets brought in. Rookie center Gus Hartwig. He went down with what looked like a leg injury. Aaron Glenn said it looked like a knee for Hartwig. He referred to him as Big Gus. Glenn said that he's being evaluated. So hope for the best there. Pads come on. These things could happen. And speaking specifically of injuries, Glenn said he's not afraid of players getting hurt. He understands that injuries are a part of football. Said, quote, cannot be afraid of injuries, cannot run from it, and that the only way to get better is to rep it. And he referred to the live tackling drills, the fundamentals being so important for the Jets. And we know how awful they were at tackling last year. So I am certainly in favor of that. Trying to change the culture. You got to get rid of the environment that felt like a country club the last couple of years. So I love that from AG. Now, some other things he said that I thought were interesting. He raved about Malachi Moore and said that Moore has an opportunity to start. He's fighting for a spot. If I'm the Jets and it's close between, let's say, Malachi Moore and Tony Adams, I'm starting the rookie. Let's let Malachi Moore get all the experience. This regime drafted him. They see something in him. Will Parkinson has brought this up. It's a great point. Malachi Moore at Alabama started as a true freshman for Nick Saban. Nick Saban's not putting you out there on the field if you're not a smart football player. Malachi Moore, the reason why he was a day 3 pick was because he's not as physically gifted as safeties that typically go in rounds 1 and 2 or 3, right? But he's a guy that is incredibly smart, was good enough for Nick Saban as a true freshman. I'd give him an opportunity to play if it's close. Let him get the reps. Put him out there with Andre Cisco, who continues to have a really good camp. And then all of a sudden, you might have a much better safety room than any of us anticipated, because I think Cisco was a really good signing by Muji. 1-year deal for a guy who's been a ball hawk, good player. Coming off a down year, you're buying low on him. Good returns on the safety room so far. Glenn referencing Braylon Allen. And the line that stood out to me was, you could use him in short yardage. There is no short yardage with Braylon Allen. The Jets this year, for them to be good, have to be so good on 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and inches. I think the tush push is going to be used a lot by the Jets. They voted in favor of keeping the rule. You have Justin Fields, who's been good at that play when he's been given the opportunity to use it. And you have Braylon Allen. And when talking about Braylon, Glenn made reference to the fact that there was a play where Braylon was on the field at the same time Brees was, to quote Glenn, split out wide. Remember, Nate Hackett, it took Nate Hackett till halfway through his first season as the offensive coordinator to say, I didn't realize Brees could catch. I didn't know he was that good at it. We're hearing about Brees being used already as a receiver, and Glenn said he wants to do that a lot with Brees. I think that's great. But this team is going to be aggressive. They're going to go for it on 3rd and 4th down. Like, if it's 3rd and 2, call 2 run plays. You should be able to get 2 yards with 2 opportunities to do it. Right? Tush push twice. 3rd down and 4th down. Who's stopping it? That's the mentality the Jets need to have. Their line needs to be built to run the football. They got to be tough. Brees referenced how the scheme and what they're asking the running backs to do to him makes a lot more sense since he's been in the league. He hasn't experienced that. Basically saying the coaching last year was terrible. Keith Carter didn't know how to design a running game. He was the run game coordinator, in addition to being the O-line coach. Glenn has already singled out Steve Hyden, who's the new offensive line coach, as someone he thinks is doing a great job. So if this team can get the O-line to be humming, I think Brees is going to be in a great position to have a career year, and Braylon Allen's going to be used too. But this mentality, you got to build the calluses now with the O-line. They got to be tough. They got to be ready to roll. But I thought that was certainly notable from Aaron Glenn there. And then as far as Justin Fields, Glenn said he wasn't a full participant, but he participated in as much as they wanted him to. But we saw Fields out there in 11 on 11, so he's essentially back. They're still easing him in for what it's worth, but, I mean, considering what we thought was the injury to Fields on Thursday at this time, here we are on Monday, and he's out there in full pads on 11 on 11. That's great stuff. So that's the latest there from Aaron Glenn. A couple super chats to get into here, and then we will announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle, get to plenty of your calls, and the Azzie Awards are coming up. Today we're going to be voting on the biggest meltdown over the last calendar year. Ladies and gentlemen, the Azzies are coming, so stay tuned for that. As far as the super chats go, Ricky starts us off. He says, people are finally starting to see why I wanted Aaron Glenn to be our coach. AG doing it the right way. The players could see it. JETSLFG. Ricky, I love the positivity. So far, so good. K-Brock checks in. He's been a channel member for a year as well. Let's go, Jets. Jake, you're awesome. Appreciate all you do for the Jets community. Just got my tickets for week 1. K-Brock, love it. Bring the noise. Anthony Logerado has gifted 5 channel memberships. That means he's got a chance to win a Garrett Wilson jersey at the end of the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for him. Big Country with a $20 super chat. He's in the Garrett Wilson raffle for 5 with this. He says, good morning, all. Feels like all the players are more positive and no, there isn't any BS, which is good. We needed this. And with a new coaching staff, we all need to cross our fingers and wait and see. Let's go, Jets. Amen. Look, they only could go up from here coaching-wise, right? It's hard to be worse than the worst team in the NFL being coached. Black Gypsy in the Garrett Wilson jersey raffle. Let's go, Black Gypsy. He gifted 1 membership. J-Boy, who's been on a roll in our memberships, he's in for 5. Let's go, J-Boy. Hit it, AG.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
If you got a membership from J-Boy, thank him. Purple Belt Mike checks in. He says, Aaron Glenn is turning it around and turning me on, baby. Let's go. Pain meds be damned. We winning the division. I am bought in now. Just bought new Jets gear. I don't give a F. Jets, 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 Jets. And watch, if the Jets lose week 1, Mike will predict them to go 0-17. So that's how it goes with PBM. But, Mike, I love your positivity. As far as Aaron Glenn's words turning you on, I got to play it.
Calm your freaky down.
You sicko. All right. More of your comments here before we get to the raffle. Uno Jets, who won a Fields jersey last week on the show. He super chats and joins the raffle for 2. Jake, AG is correcting the bad habits. It's big. To me, we are moving in the right direction. Let's go, Jets. 10-7. 10-7. I'll do cartwheels on the show. I'll be so happy. Oh, my God. Phantom Green and White gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. JT in the raffle for 1. Let's go, JT. Rasta Dread, G-Dub jersey. I'm winning the raffle. Rasta Dread, good luck, my man. Make sure you're watching at the end of the show. Big fella, does this mean we actually have a big running back in for 3rd and short? What a concept. If we do only this, it'd be a major improvement over last year. Correct. But even last year, when they finally did give Braylon Allen some opportunities, I forget which game it was, he got stuffed because they just were not schemed properly last year. The Jets were 31st in run block win rate. So that's like your offensive line, do they block well? And the Jets were 2nd worst in the league of that. That's not like a Brees stat, who I didn't think had a good year last year, or anything to do with the running backs. It's, do you block well? Run block win rate. The Jets last year, 31st. That will not be the case with Aaron Rodgers. That's why if they could get Fields to be competent, there's enough talent on both sides of the ball, if the coaching is solid, for this team to fight and be in the mix. Like, they're not going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. I don't think they're a playoff team at this point. I won't go there. But they're not going to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. Stewie Upload says, love you, Jake. Stewie, I love you and the fans. JTS. Jess has gifted 1 channel membership. She's in the raffle now for 1. Good luck to Jess. Asim checks in. He gifted a membership. He's in the raffle for 1. Let's go, Asim. And ladies and gentlemen, JoJo, an esteemed member of the 4.5% female demographic. She gifted a 10 spot of channel membership.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Let's go. Positive vibes on a Monday where the pads are on. Man with a rake says, Jake, you don't do enough with Jets flight crew. I'm not familiar with the Jets flight crew, but shout out to the Jets flight crew, whoever they might be. You're talking about when the Jets used to have like the cheerleaders? They haven't had that in years. The Jordo show checks in. In the AG clip talking about penalties, he said, we can't have MAs. What is an MA? I think it's a mental... I don't know what an MA... I thought mental error at first. I couldn't figure out what an MA was, but he's talking about like the mental mistakes. If you hear the full context of the quote before he says that. Like he said, there's a difference in like a ticky-tacky, pass interference call as both guys are fighting for the ball in the air versus someone jumping off sides or a false start penalty. That was the context of the quote, Jordo. Maybe missed assignments. So that's possible. Can't have missed assignments. That's probably the best guess I've seen. Missed assignments. That's what you want to hear from the coach. That's what you want to hear, baby. You don't want MAs. This team needs to be smart. They need to be disciplined. And that alone can help you win games in the NFL. Sometimes, and I think Belichick has said this, and it's one of the quotes I agree with from him. Sometimes you're trying just not to lose in the NFL. Let the other team make the mistakes. Like the team that makes less mistakes oftentimes can win the game. So that's important. With that said, who's ready for a raffle? We have a Joe Namath helmet signed by Broadway Joe himself. And we also have a Garrett Wilson jersey that we'll give away at the end of the show. So we're going to give away 3 total prizes today because we also have a Justin Fields jersey as well. So a bunch of epic prizes for the best listeners in sports, the Asmaniacs. Ladies and gentlemen, our weekly raffle for the prizes that you see on the screen, the Fields signed helmet and the Joe Namath signed helmet. We're going to give them away right now.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
If you win, shoot me an email with your full name and your address so I know where to send either the Joe Namath helmet or the Justin Fields helmet, signed by both of these Jet quarterbacks. Good luck to everyone. If you don't win, there's a Garrett Wilson jersey on the line at the end of the show, so more chances to win a prize later on. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to everyone, and here we go. The winner of the Joe Namath signed helmet is... $817 entries, by the way. And Paul Fiore wins it. Hey, shout out to Paul. Paul is an awesome Jet fan. He's a true diehard. He's been supporting the channel for a long time. I think he only had 2 total entries in for this raffle. So congrats to Paul. For those on Twitter, he goes under the name Fiore. Or on YouTube, it's Fiore YT. But either way, Paul, if you're out there, shoot me a message. And let's get this Namath helmet sent out to you. With that said, we got another prize to give away. It is a Justin Fields autographed helmet. And the winner of that helmet is... listener, Austrian Jet fan. No way. We're shipping to Austria. How about that? Well deserved. Austrian Jet fan is your winner. He's won before, and we're going international again. Congratulations to him, and thanks again to everyone who supports our weekly raffles. This was our 33rd raffle that we have done since December 1st. But wait, you guys want a surprise? The top prize in raffle 34 next week is a signed jersey by Broadway Joe Namath. You see it there. It includes the certificate of authentication from Beckett Collectibles. Namath signed jersey, our top prize in next week's raffle, plus daily raffles, like at the end of the show, a Garrett Wilson jersey will be given away. Congrats to our 2 winners once again, both Paul and Austrian Jet fan. All right, comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line, which is why we go to this one from Fire Aaron Glenn, who says, bring back Robert Saleh. You all will be crying for him when we're 0-6. Ladies and gentlemen, you hate to do it so early on in the week. You hate to do it so early on in the show. But I am unfortunately left with no choice for Fire Aaron Glenn. Fire Aaron Glenn, your day is done. Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it. We will see you later, Fire Aaron Glenn. Eventually, some fans will probably be saying Fire Aaron Glenn after the first loss of the year. That's how it goes. But on this Monday, when it's still July, we're going to be positive. Shooter is in our raffle for 5. Aaron Glenn finally getting his shot. Man, it does feel different. That grit, that fire, and the speaking of Aaron Glenn, how about some football this week, baby? Lions versus Chargers, let's go. You know, it's funny. We all get excited for that first preseason game, and then we start watching, and we're like, oh, yeah, preseason sucks. But Thursday, Hall of Fame game, Jet fans, we were in that 2 years ago. We know it well. Chargers-Lions, baby. Antonio Gates and Megatron are going into the Hall this year. So that's why they're in the Hall of Fame game. Big Country joins the raffle for 2. You know AG is all in with this team when he keeps saying, we need to clean up the penalties, and he wasn't here last year. Well, that's just good. A good job by Glenn being like, hey, last year these guys were – because, like, now you're a Jet, right? Like, he wants to make it clear that, like, he's a part of this. Like, it's his team now. Like, he's taking accountability for the team last year because a lot of the players he's coaching were on the team last year, right? So that's smart. That's like good leadership right there. That's like a subtle thing that I don't know how many people picked up on, but like I noticed it too. Big country. Well said. Boba Jet in the house. He's been a channel member for 10 months. He says, long time, Jake. Always good to see all the Asmaniacs still acting up in the chat. Let's get the memberships up and hit the like. Let's effing go, Jets. Speaking of memberships, if you join the Patreon for the year, you do earn 10 raffle tickets applied to our daily raffle if you join during the show and our weekly raffle. So, ladies and gentlemen, go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Join for the year. Not only do you save 15%, but you get your name added to our intro, access to exclusive events, bonus shows. Most importantly, the Discord access is where it's at, plus 20% off every merch item. And if you go right now, 10 tickets in our Garrett Wilson raffle. Giving away a Garrett jersey, G5, at the end of the show. Comments, questions, your super chats. They will cut the line. How we feeling about what Glenn said? How we feeling about the first padded practice of the entire summer? First of many under AG. Now, before we get to some calls here, and the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is open, so please click the link and join. It's time for the Azzie Awards. Today we cover the biggest meltdown on the show. The nominees are Gary for his moon landing rant, Rob from Glenhead for his tirade against Cheats fan and Bobby Midnight, Mets2128 for calling in and calling me a son of a bitch, USOB, and then Bobby Midnight for going off on David T, referring to him as Santa Claus. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your nominees, and voting is underway.
It's time for the Azzie Awards. Gotta get through Jets off season. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna lose? These Asmaniac callers are legends. It's up to the chat. It's your time to vote. You gotta decide who's better. Asmaniacs drive the Jake Asman Show. That's why we gotta have these Azzie Awards.
Vote, vote, vote in the Azzie Awards. It should be popping up as a YouTube poll here. I'm going to double check because I'm having like a connection error on my end. All right, the poll is officially live. So if you're watching the show live, you can certainly vote. We appreciate everyone who makes this show so damn fun. Phone lines open. Need some calls here. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. Comments, questions, your super chats. They cut the line. And first up on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is...
This right here, Jake, this is the biggest zucchini that I got this morning. This is a 5-footer, baby. Huge, tall, and bigger and on the last.
Now, Beast, what are you doing with a giant piece of zucchini?
I cut this up. Hey, this is a veggie. Something that Mr. Texas boy, he doesn't know nothing about this. See, this is a real man zucchini, my friend.
What are you doing with that thing? Are you going to eat it or are you going to stick it somewhere? What are you doing?
We're going to slice this up nicely, take all the seeds out, and next year get to do it again. That's called smart. See, nowadays, plants are not cheap, my friends. They're not cheap. You know why? Everything is expensive nowadays. Tomatoes. This year, tomatoes. $6 for a beefsteak.
Hey, Beast, can you do us a favor? Can you pretend the zucchini is a football and drop back like you're Justin Fields in the pocket and then take off and throw the ball to Garrett Wilson?
Or how about we just dive it into the end zone just like Brian Allen would do on an HP draw.
That works. Now move the mic that's not even connected, that serves no purpose, and give us a little show.
Wait a second, El Senor Jake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, pick it up. Football on the ground. Get ready. Ready. 3. Get ready. Black. 32. Black. 32. Set it up. Get it up. Get up. 318. Get ready. Set. Hey. Yeah, baby! Touchdown! Woo-hoo! Yeah! Run him, cowboy boy! Woo-hoo! Yeah! Come here, Chico! Come on! Yeah! Ha! That's how you play, baby! Ha!
You get the fuck out!
What a start to the new week. First call of the week. It's going to be a week, baby. Unreal. Unreal. Some super chats here. Jack checks it. He cuts the line. Glenn will actually be on the sidelines coaching and not being a statue. Also, he will not be afraid to bench players regardless of their status. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to seeing. There's not going to be like special treatment based on where a player was drafted or how long you've been in the league. I truly do think we're actually going to see tangible accountability applied. Like if a guy's making a mistake, he'll actually face consequences. And isn't that what you want? Right? That's a big part of this. Dan the Jet fan says, can Beast explain the purpose of the fan moving so slowly? It's a great question. Beast, what do you make of your fan moving so slowly there?
Do not, hey, that's my business. Worry about yourself. Worry about you.
You get the fuck out. Excuse me.
All right, I tried to ask you, Dan, but I don't think you're going to get an answer there. Dominic joins the Garrett Wilson raffle for 1. Congratulations, Dominic. Good luck. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line, ladies and gentlemen. Next on our Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline today is none other than
Ricky, New York is my name. Florida State is my game. My internet sucks, call it Jake. When it's time to smoke and debate, the New York Jets are gonna win. My team since I was a kid. My New York Jets are gonna win. I'm Ricky, New York. Don't forget that. Florida State bitches. New York Jets. We got this shit. It's time to win, baby. Win. Can't wait.
Ricky.
Can't wait. It is time to win. And you know what? I'm a little bit mixed up because I had a long weekend at work. So I can't recall exactly what day it was. Maybe it was Friday. But, you know, we had this scare with thinking that Fields was hurt and everything. But the one thing that I was hearing from training camp that I didn't really hear a lot of people talk about, I can't remember if it was Faria or somebody else that tweeted it out, but Andre Cisco with 2 interceptions and a pass breakup to end practice the other day. I am really looking forward to seeing how he fits with our secondary. I think he's going to lead the team in takeaways this year, and I think we ended up getting a really good player. You know, albeit a 1-year deal. I think we've got a good player in the back end there.
Well, he's young enough where if it does work out for him, he'll be here beyond just this year. Like, it's great.
Yeah, I think he will be. I hope so. And another thing, and I'm going to give you a little sneak preview. You know, we had Garrett and Sauce's deal get done. I think Simpson will get done probably during the season. However, there's another deal that's on the horizon that I think is going to happen. And that would be a new deal for Quincy Williams. And I'm actually going to dedicate a whole show to that. And while I've got you here for a minute,
it meant a lot. You know, something that we have been.
Ignore that, Ricky.
You're the first person. You're the first person that I wanted to have on my show, and the main person that I wanted to ask to come on the show at some point. However, I want to wait until we have actual games to talk about, like real games. So I want to wait until after we beat Pittsburgh week 1, but I would definitely like to have you on at some point.
Happy to do it, Ricky. You know that I love that you started a show. We got plenty of Asmaniac spinoffs that keep popping up. Someone's got to make the full list of like the Asmaniac coaching tree that I have, all the spinoff shows. But go subscribe to Ricky's channel, Jet fans. He's a diehard like you and I. Phantom Green and White says, Beast, will you put on a pink Power Ranger outfit? Beast, this request is from Phantom Green and White. He's a big fan of yours. Any thoughts?
You see this? Bafangu, get out of here.
Bino says, can we get Brokeback 666 some proper window coverings? The duct tape shades are awful.
Don't worry. Money's coming around soon enough. Just keep, in the words of the great Mo Howard, remember, keep your P's and Q's up. No, we don't want to make a fool out of ourselves in public here. Let's just keep our wages up. And this zucchini is going to get cut soon enough. I got 3 more big ones in the garden. And don't think if you want one, I can send it your way via USPS very fast. So if you want it,
thank you.
Want
I'll keep that in mind if I want some zucchini. Jack with a super chat. Aaron Glenn will actually be on the sidelines coaching and not being a statue. Also, he will not be afraid to bench players regardless of their status. Completely agree. Completely agree. Dixon wants to know, how did we feel about Happy Gilmore 2? I think I'm in the minority on this. I didn't mind it. I wasn't expecting an Oscar-winning film. Honestly, Kyle Clifton, who called in and gave a review, it was the most accurate review I've heard. The first hour I thought was great. The nostalgia, all the references to the first one. Then it got pretty dumb the last hour. The plot was just so silly. And I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it yet, but, I was entertained. I definitely would recommend watching it if you like the first one. It's not a good movie by any stretch, but I didn't think it was awful like some think it was. Thought it was all right. The cameos were a little much. Some of them were fun, but I don't need Travis Kelce in a movie with Adam Sandler, for example. But I thought it was fine. I don't know. People were talking about it's the worst movie ever. I didn't think that. Dylan Terraman checks in. Look at Dylan's new logo on his name there. He writes in, physicality, accountability, and discipline. The AG model. Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Aaron Glenn moments ago when we played his presser talking about building that identity.
Well, I think you try to create an identity of your team, and you start to figure out who's going to be a part of that identity. And that's what the evaluation process is, man. We're evaluating in the meeting room. We're evaluating on the field. And, again, they all know that that's a part of who we're going to be. And the good thing is, man, they look forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what else we have here from the presser. The players were speaking after Aaron Glenn spoke, so we have some sound I want to play for you guys. That's what I'm working on uploading here on the side, and then we'll get right back to your calls. This is Xavier Gibson. The caption the Jets posted is, find someone that talks about you the way Xavier Gibson talks about Coach Glenn. So that's the context. Here's the answer.
Glenn get me fired up, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Especially he a Texas guy, so if you knew where he was coming from and you take any of his passion the wrong way, you probably be the problem, because either he passionate about the game. You just gotta feel that energy, and man, I love that dude, man, for sure.
Love that. Is Xavier Gibson on this team, though? That's the question. I don't know if his roster spot is locked. And then we got more from Aaron Glenn here. This is Byron Cowart talking about being on the Avengers. This is a reference to Charles Gorman.
I feel like I'm in the Avengers right now. I got Will to my left. I got Quentin, you know what I'm saying, Mike. It's a lot of guys around me. The guys, secondary, the linebackers behind me. So I'm just, you seen the new Superman movie? It's a new villain. He was trying to figure out his powers and what is he good at. So I said, that's what I'm trying to figure out. How can I help you guys? So, it's dope being around everybody, flying around, young guys.
Coward's a name to watch as someone who could step up and play next to Quinn. And the other name that's turning heads is Peyton Page, UDFA DT from Clemson. He apparently has had a couple good practices that have been notable. We know there's an opportunity for a defensive tackle to step up and be on this team. Peyton Page seems like a name to potentially watch. It will come down to how he performs now with pads on, and obviously looking ahead to the preseason as well, because he's a guy that's going to play a lot in the preseason. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. If you missed it, the weekly raffle winners were announced. Congratulations to Paul Fiore, who won the Joe Namath helmet, and Austrian Jet fan, who won the Justin Fields helmet. Our top prize in Raffle 34 next week on the show is a signed Joe Namath jersey, and more prizes to be announced. But if you want a chance to win something live during this first show, I'll give away a Garrett Wilson G5 jersey in the color of your choice between green or white at the end of the program. More calls. Got some legends on the line. Dominic is up next. What's up, Dominic?
Hey, what's up, Jake? How are you, man?
What's up, dude? How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Loving the pad practice happening finally and everything. So it's a good feeling. It really feels like getting back into football. I was listening to the show from yesterday, this morning. So I was like, man, I'm in football mode right now, and it's good stuff. So I did like AG. I just love his comments and what he had to say. Like the guy, whoever had the Bill Parcells question, he like fielded that really, really well. And it's just like, yeah, I'm Aaron Glenn, and this is what I'm going to do. I love the comparison and, you know, him like respecting Bill Parcells, but he is his own man. And it just feels like a weird question to kind of ask him. We'll keep hammering about Bill Parcells to him. And so I think he handled it pretty well. But
and he never coached with Bill Parcells. Right, I think people like forget he only played for him. And he coached under a Hall of Fame coach in Sean Payton and one of the best coaches in the league in Dan Campbell. And he coordinated and went up against in practice like the top offensive guy in the league, people saying Ben Johnson. Like there's other guys they could ask Glenn about besides just Parcells, but the media wants to hammer that storyline because Parcells was a Jet. He turned things around immediately after the Jets were a disaster like they are the last couple of years. So that's why they keep bringing it up to him.
But it's funny. The guy was like, but what about like the yelling? And then he's like, you see me on there. Have you seen me yell? It's just, yeah, they're really trying to throw darts at him. And it's just like, nah.
Dan Campbell yells too, by the way, as does Sean Payton. If you ever watch like their mic'd up clips that are online, like I love that, like the idea that you can't coach players hard anymore. I don't believe. I think it's different now. Like Bill Parcells would like, you know, do things that wouldn't be like acceptable in 2025. Like you can't like reference one of your players being a woman like he's done or whatever. But like it's different times now, but the principles still apply for all these old school coaches.
Absolutely. It's pretty wild stuff. Also, I know Beast is a big ECW fan. Does he even know I host with Rob Van Dam? He's like the biggest ECW star of all time. I do a podcast with Rob Van Dam, and I'm trying to hit Beast up and let him know, but he has no clue.
You got to get Beast on the show. That will be electrifying.
I know, right? Oh my God, what an experience that would be. Well, Beast, you have an invite to at least join the chat if you want during when we do the shows. Every live Thursday at 9 p.m. every Thursday we try to do. So cheap plug, but whatever.
Love it.
But that's it, Jake. Good stuff. Really excited. I'm back in football mode, man.
Love it. Dominic, good call. Appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the season is getting close when this guy is taking a break from drinking and smoking and sitting by the pool and hanging out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Hello, Neil.
What's up, Jake? I just put my pads on. We're getting ready for the real season now.
I love
pads are on. Now it's time to really get into the Jets and see what's happening here. And I like Aaron Glenn's presser. The only thing I'm not happy about in that presser is he seems very in love with Clemens.
He likes Clem. He referred to him as Clem.
Oh,
I don't like that.
I got a little throw up on my mouth when he said that. Play like, look like Tarzan, play like Jane. We should make a nice merch item with Clemens' face on it. Because he's going to find out quick enough when Clemens is on the line of scrimmage and he gets pushed around the field and misses tackles and everything else. That body is not, conducive to, it doesn't translate on the field. We both know that, and everybody in the chat knows that.
Well, if they turn Clemens into a real player, then that will show me a ton. So we'll see. I'm rooting for Clemens. He's a Jet until he's not, but I have my doubts on him.
Well, I think that look, the one thing I could say that I'm really pleased with is the fact that, he has nicknames for guys. He's out there on the field tackling. He's getting involved with the players. The players really seem to be bought in, and we're getting a lot of evidence after the fact that the previous coaching staff, as Peter put it, is trash. It was garbage, and they were probably all high on drugs. Peter said they're a bunch of drug addicts. So that's what we had before, and now we have a real coaching staff. So we should see a lot better play. We're going to definitely see a lot less penalties. I love the fact that the refs are on the field. And this is just basic stuff that we haven't, obviously, haven't seen in the previous staff. So I don't know how many wins that's going to translate into, Jake, but I really think that, I've always underestimated the value of coaching, and because we all look at rosters, we all look at players, and we all look at, the talent. But, if these guys have to be motivated, they have to, be pushed the right way, and they have to want to play. And so far, everything I hear, unless they're all full of crap, sounds great, right? I mean, it sounds like it's really a lot different. What do you think?
100%. Now, Neil, 1 second. I'm going to get back to you, but there's something that has to happen immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, Six Rings is in the chat. Noted Patriots fan who's not even a good Patriots fan. He also wears Dolphins gear. And Frank P said enough. Jake, please get that mosquito Six Rings the F out. Ladies and gentlemen, Six Rings Day is done.
Now look what you've done, Six Rings. You fake patch fraud. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to cut you off and cast you out with the sodomites. Some time in here will make you feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Six Rings, we will see you later. Farewell. We're not messing around here. $50 is the bounty to put someone in the hole like Six Rings, who we know is a noted fraud. Let's get back to Neil's call on the show. Comments, questions, super chats. We will get to plenty of your calls here on our first stream of the day. Neil's back with us now. Neil, I agree with your points.
Show Six Rings what happens when he shows up at the tailgate with that 10 jersey on.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Show Six Rings what's going to happen to him.
Well.
You have that spot?
Do I have it? Let me find it, Neil. Are you referring to a certain thrusting? I think that guy.
I know, right? Happen to him if he shows up at a tailgate. Just let him know that he's welcome to come to any tailgate he wants, and that's where he's going to end up hanging on the top of a hanger.
Oh, I see what you're saying. He'll be lit on fire. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to hang Six Rings on that little fire thing, and we're going to all thrust at him one at a time. We're going to line up.
I thought you were going to hump him relentlessly, as Tom Hayes put it. So that's good to know.
We're going to all hump him relentlessly. I don't think it's just going to be me. We need we need a villain, Jake. He's the villain, and we're okay with that. We need a villain, right? Yeah. I mean, it's very easy. If we have a guy like him, I mean, we don't have Allen anymore, that coward. He won't even get on the goddamn.
He's still in the chat, though.
I know. He's on the chats on every. What the, he's on every single show. I don't think he ever works. I think he just goes from chat to chat and throws his crap out there. But he never has the courage to put his face out there anymore. I don't know why. What do you think, Jake? What's the reason for him not doing that?
He claims that he has this job with the NFL, then he's not allowed to show his face. I'm like, okay, you can't go on a show talking about teams that play in the NFL because you have some sort of association with the league as like an accountant or something. Like, that makes no sense to me, but that's what Alan says.
Well, I'm gonna have a live stream for the opener in my basement with Peter and Rob and a couple other people. I don't know if you ever seen that live stream. You ever see those two guys that curse all the time on YouTube?
Yes.
Oh, it's hysterical. Effing this, effing that. That's going to be us in the basement. I'm going to tape it with me and Peter and Rob, and we'll show that. It'll be hysterical. And hopefully it'll be good tapes of touchdowns and winning. So
I love it. Now, Neil, just a heads up. Your audio is a little choppy, but before I let you go, you got some ash on the shirt there. I want to make sure that you can knock that off. I don't want you to ruin the shirt.
There's not a shirt that I have that doesn't have cigar holes in it. I have basically replace shirts every 3 or 4 months because they get cigar holes in them. So that's one of my trademarks. I can't help it. When you smoke cigars, unfortunately, the ash sometimes gets on the shirt.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
Neil is back. That means the season is upon us. Love it. The big fella says 6 rings ass is perfect for Beast Zucchini. Hey, Beast, any thoughts on this one?
Whoa! That zucchini's not for him, my friend. I know what's definitely going to be for him. This right here. Mr. Vincenzo. You know, and Vincenzo is an Italian name.
Hey, Beast, are you worried that listeners are going to start sending me pictures of you riding a zucchini like it's a Harry Potter broom?
I don't want to reference any of that crapola. What my garden is life. You water it, you take care of it. Life is a garden, man. Dig it.
Okay.
Take that as a Joe Dirt reference.
Beast, thank you for the time, and keep up the great work.
Thumbs up.
Rejected. Sorry.
All right, let's get caught up on some super chats here. Once again, Frank, appreciate you. Let's see. Bino writes in, Jacob, I like how AG is leaning on the big tuna for knowledge and advice. Smart move. Yeah, I mean, he says he talks to Parcells still every week. It's great. I think what people forget about Glenn is he's been around really good coaches besides Parcells. He actually coached with Sean Payton. He actually coached with Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson. That's good. J-Rod says, how many wins do you predict this season? Does Fields play all 17 games and finally pass for 4,000 yards? Any stat predictions? Does the defense turn it around? How many questions could you fit in one super chat, J-Rod? Impressive. Does Fields play all 17 games? I mean, I hope. History has not been on his side for him being that durable for that, but hopefully it changes. You have, I think you'd sign for 14 or 15 right now. You have Tyrod for the remaining games. I don't think Fields is going to pass for 4,000 yards. That's not his game. How many wins? I'm still at 6, but I probably will get the 7 by the time we get to week 1. I want the Jets to show me. I'm very encouraged by what's happening so far, but I got to see it. Stats predictions, I'll give you one. Garrett Wilson, over 1,000 yards. Easy. Plus 125 at DraftKings. Garrett Wilson to have over 1,000 receiving yards. He's done it all 3 years. Now he's got a coordinator tailoring the offense to him and a quarterback he's already played with before. So that's the only stat prediction I'll give you. We'll do more of this when we get closer. Big Country says, wow, is there positivity from Negative Neil? Must be we're going to have a good year. You know what's so funny about this? So Big Country, I could tell you're a new listener. Negative Neil is funny. Neil predicted the Jets to be 17-0 last season. So you could tell who's new to the show, who joined this offseason, and who's been here for a while. Neil is the most optimistic Jet fan that regularly calls into this show. To give you guys an example, I sat next to Neil and his 2 sons at Rodgers' first game on 9/11 in 2023. And when Rodgers went down, and I'm losing my mind, it's the worst moment of my life. Neil, trying to cheer me up, goes, it's a sprained ankle. He'll be fine. He'll be out there for the second half. He's Mr. Positive always. So this comment, I think this is funny. But Neil's like a lot of Jet fans. He's down in the dumps after how the last couple of years went. He's starting to buy back in a little bit. Like you hear Aaron Glenn talk. How are you not excited? How are you not excited when you hear the comments from the players? Gator writes in, Beast, how much does that zucchini weigh? Can you put it on the scale? Just hold it on the scale and subtract 259 pounds.
Next question, please. Move along. Move along. Ka-ching! Ka-ching! Now remember, Gator, you are Captain Hook and I'm Peter Pan. Just remember that. Ding, ding, ding. Now take your ship and go. I don't want to see your face in Neverland ever again. Pew, pew, pew. Abracadoodle.
More calls. Black Gypsy's next. Hey, Black Gypsy.
Got a love piece of references.
Oh, let's go. Is that the Sauce jersey? Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Live unboxing on the air. Black Gypsy won a signed Sauce Gardner jersey on the show last week, and it has arrived. Let's see
go.
it. Let's see it. There it is. Love that. You got to get a frame for that. That's awesome.
Yep, it's going up. I have a crap load of jerseys, bro. I have like 15 jerseys.
That's sick. Love that. I'm glad you won, Black Gypsy. You've been in a lot of raffles. You finally got your name called on the wheel.
It's crazy too, because normally I watch while I'm working, and I was just working in the background and I heard it. I was like, no way. She won something.
Hell
so
yeah.
Question I have for everyone. We believe in Glenn. After watching Glenn today, after like the first press conference, I kind of like Glenn. Do you, if we make the playoffs, it's a massive if, all right? If we make the playoffs, is Aaron Glenn one of the best coaches to ever coach for the Jets? Because he's gonna be in that Parcell Herm Edwards category of getting there and doing something right away, or Rex.
Mangini did it too, though, and he wasn't.
Oh yeah, Mangini
a
did
great
do it
coach.
also.
I mean, but if you look at the recent trend, it's been bad with like Gase and Saleh year one. But before that, Bowles won 10 games. Rex was in the AFC title game. Mangini went to the playoffs. Herm went to the playoffs. Algro had a winning year. I mean, the Jets should have been a lot better in 2000, right? They were 5-1 or 6-1 after they beat the Dolphins on the Monday Night Miracle and finished 9-7, so they collapsed.
Yeah.
But
lost a couple of the games.
Yeah, but like still a winning year. Obviously, Parcells took over, a 1-win team and then won 9 games in year one with him. So it's going to take more than just 1 year, but he's the coach of the year if the Jets make the playoffs. I think he'll be voted coach of the year.
It kind of reminds me of when you were in Houston and you were on your Houston show talking about how Houston was going to change when they got what's his name in. DeMarco Ryans.
DeMarco Ryans, yep.
Yeah. It has that feeling. It kind of has that same vibe of like something might be different. The only difference is like I just don't trust Fields. I really want him to do good though. But
they still can win games even if Fields is not the biggest reason why. There's enough good players around them, and if the coaching's better, like they have a real. It feels like they have a real plan for both sides of the ball, which I'm excited.
It does.
About. Like
it feels
they're organized.
For the first time in a long time, it feels like we kind of have a plan that we're going to stick to. Even if it's not working in the beginning of the season, like we're going to stick to it. That's what I want to see. I want to see us actually have conviction and do something and be like, this is what we do. Like when people look at the Jets now, they can be like, yeah, like they're a scary team. Like we haven't been a scary team on offense in a long time.
Correct.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Black Gypsy, great call. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Garrett Wilson jersey giveaway at the end of the stream. It's $5 to get the membership to enter. $10 super chat gets you 2 raffle tickets. If you don't win that, ladies and gentlemen, the top prize in our weekly raffle, raffle 34, after we announce the 2 winners of raffle 33 during this stream, a Joe Namath signed jersey. Includes certificate of authentication. And for those tuning in late, I'll be back this afternoon on YouTube for our second stream. So 7 hours of total broadcasting for me today because I'm hosting on ESPN New York this evening, 8:80 a.m. from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And I'll be in for Michael K this Thursday, the day of the trade deadline, from 1 to 3. So a little look ahead on my radio schedule for this week. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. I want to get to more of your calls, but we are presented today by my friends at Circa.
Circa Million and Circa Survivor are back with a massive $21 million in guaranteed prizes. Circa Million. Pick 5 games against the spread each week. 126 ways to win with $6 million guaranteed. Circa Survivor, 1 pick a week. No point spread. Last the longest to win it all. $15 million guaranteed. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. 21 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Oh, yeah. I'll be out in Vegas at Circa's contest weekend, ultimate contest weekend, August 21st from August 21st to the 23rd. That's where you could actually register for either the contest, the Survivor, or the Circa Millions pick contest. It's going to be a great weekend. So if you're into either of these contests, come hang out with me and everyone that's going to be out there. It's going to be great. We'll do our show from the Radio Row that Circa puts together. Have some great guests those 2 days previewing the Jet season and the NFL season. So I'm looking forward to it. And just book your stay at Circa next time you go to Vegas. It is sports heaven. No better spot. All right, more calls right now. Papa Jet is on the line, and he joins us now. Hello, Papa.
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
What's up, Papa?
It looks like Beast got new sound effects for this fine Monday. But anyways,
man, Beast is certainly going to be busy with that zucchini there.
Yeah.
Did
Hey,
you know
Jake,
that he flies on it, apparently?
No, I didn't know that.
This was just sent to me by someone who apparently saw a beast on their recent flight in the airspace.
I don't know. Guy's been around for 6 months and has about 1,000 clips already.
He's done a lot.
He has. Hey, the thing I want to mention, you played Glenn's press conference there, and the biggest thing that I love hearing him say, and it's simple. He said it's blocking and tackling, and that's fundamental football, right? You teach it in Pop Warner to high school to college to pros, and if you don't block, you ain't winning, and if you don't tackle, you ain't winning. But it's amazing. You still got to teach that in the pros because it don't happen all the time. You know, the thing that pisses me off the most is if I'm watching a game and it usually happens with a safety against a running back. How many times you see a safety is like, I'm going to light him up, hits him hard, running back bounces off, runs for a touchdown. Fundamental football. You got to wrap them up. And I don't know how many times I see it. It's, fundamental football is still part of pro football. And players forget it. And I'm glad I heard Glenn say it's blocking and tackling, So it's good to have a coach still teach fundamentals when you have to teach them, because if it ain't happening, you shouldn't have to tell a professional player to wrap up, but you still do.
100%. I mean, look, they were the worst tackling team in the league, you could argue, last year, and they were undisciplined. They didn't have refs at practice last year. Then look what happened when the games actually counted, right? So these are all good things. I think at the bare minimum, Glenn is able to kind of overhaul the culture in year one. And then there's questions about just the ceiling of this team because of the quarterback uncertainty. Like the reality is you could be one of the great coach teams in the league. You're not winning if your quarterback is not at least in the conversation of being a top 10 guy. Like, I don't believe in today's NFL you can win a Super Bowl without a quarterback who at least, like, at his best could be a top 10 guy in the league. Like, that to me is the threshold. And we'll see on Fields, but there's like the idea that like it somehow would be bad if the Jets won 9 games, ended the playoff drought, and then like they still, would have questions about Fields. You worry about that down the line. This franchise needs to erase the stench of losing. They got to win games. These players got to get used to the expectations being different and not just, woe is me, we suck again. Like, win games, worry about the rest down the line. The Bills ended their 17-year playoff drought and still then traded up for Josh Allen. Like, you don't need to just be bad to get your quarterback. So this year should be, let's win as many games as we can with a new coaching staff. Right.
And I still think we need to draft a quarterback possibly next year, depending on where we're at. But, even if Fields has a good year, I'd like to see us get one of those young guys and maybe let him sit for a year, like Mahomes did behind Smith, because Tyrod's not going to last forever. So if anything, we would need a backup anyways, but
100%.
Okay, Jake, that's all I got for now. Maybe I'll call later. I don't know, but thanks.
Papa, beard looks excellent. Appreciate you. David says, how many ones would you trade to move up to take that 2026 quarterback drafty? Well, it's impossible to answer that right now, David. I got to know where the Jets are, how many other quarterbacks are perceived to be first-round guys. What's the state of the Jets? Like, do we think they're a quarterback away? The rest of the team is proved to be ready? It's so hard to answer this. I'd be willing to trade my one next year to move up if I'm getting a quarterback. I mean, that's the price of doing business. Derek Q with a super chat, and Asmaniac super chat. When you gift the membership, you get a free super chat every month and a loyalty badge next to your name. Look at that badge next to Derek Q, a gold badge. Thanks for the support, Derek. Appreciate you. Jake, looking back on Saleh's tenure with us, do you think Hard Knocks made him look soft? By the way, I'm flying to Jamaica and listening to your show. Derek, calling into a jet show on an actual jet. Love it. Safe flight, Derek. Yeah, I mean, look, I like Saleh. I really rooted for him. He was a good guy, good dude. We all wanted it to work. I knew they weren't going to fire him, so, I wasn't going to, just say, get right. I knew they weren't going to fire him. So, you root for the guy. He's the coach. I think in hindsight, there were definitely some more signs that if I could do it all over again in my analysis, I would have been more critical of. I think my biggest issue was I couldn't stand how bad the quarterback play was. And certainly it led to a lot of the Jets' issues, but there also were coaching issues too that we ignored just because we wanted to put it all on Zach Wilson. And then Joe Douglas, we're not going to get better backup. Saleh had major issues too. That said, he should not have been fired 5 games in. That was a huge mistake. He should have been fired at the end of 23 if he was only going to get 5 games. Because going to Ober completely backfired. And I thought maybe it'd provide a boost, but he wasn't ready. And obviously, Woody had no idea what he was doing. That was a huge mistake. They were going nowhere anyway with Saleh. I think they probably win 7 or 8 games if they kept Saleh. They were not going to win the Super Bowl. But once they went to Obrick, I mean, we saw what that looked like. David Atkins, where have you been, David? Good to get you back in the chat. He's dropping a 10 spot. Welcome back to David Atkins.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Sluggo, Antonio Ambrosino, Bio Salsa, South End Auto Detailing, Sean Wilson, Chuck W., Paul Bruno, Slim, Michael F., James Kennedy, all receiving a gifted membership there from David Atkins. Make sure you guys vote in the Azzie Awards right now. I just looked at the poll. It is a close one for the Meltdown of the Year award, Azzie. 32% have Mets 2128's Rant on Me in as the leader. Rob ripping Bobby and Cheats fan at 25%. Oh, Gary's rant just moved in front of that one. So here we go. First place, Mets 2128. Second place, Moon Landing rant from Gary. Third place with 25%, Rob on Bobby and Cheats fan. And then right now, 16%, Bobby Midnight on David T. So it is close. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? John in the house. And John, thanks for upgrading your Patreon membership to the year. You earned 10 raffle tickets with that one. And now 10 more in this one. What a country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's good to hear AG getting the pads and tackling going and not being scared of injuries. Last year with Saleh, it felt like he was trying to keep the guy wrapped in bubble wrap because that's what he was scared of. True. And they weren't ready to play. Remember how bad the Jets tackled against the Niners week 1 last year? They were horrible that night. They weren't ready. They weren't ready for the year last year. Saleh didn't have them ready. It was a problem. That was a theme with Saleh, too. Some of it was just awful quarterback play, right? Like Zach Wilson would just be missing guys open. It's like you can't blame the head coach for a quarterback not being able to complete a simple pass. But when the defense would no-show first halves of games or big games against the divisional opponent, remember they had this great win against Houston? Then what happens the next week in Miami? Their doors blown off. What happened Thursday night in Cleveland? Doors blown off. Happened too many times. They weren't ready. Niners week 1. Denver at home with 9 days to prepare for them. That was the worst. If Aaron Glenn wins his first game after the bye week, that will show me something. If the Jets have a real plan for Pittsburgh week 1, that's going to show me something. Pittsburgh doesn't know what offense the Jets are running or what a Glenn and Wilkes defense is going to look like, what it's going to be blended to. Wilkes is a zone guy. Glenn's a man guy. What does that look like? Use that to your advantage. You know, the one time Saleh did something innovative like that, it was when they sent Sauce on that corner blitz that knocked Teddy Bridgewater out of the game in 2022 in October in that game at MetLife. And then, you know, that third stringer guy came in. I forget the guy's name. John, thank you again for the super chat, though. I agree with your comments. Glenn's impressive up there, man. Gator writes in, Beast, just to confirm, you are Peter Pan and I'm Captain Hook. Asking for my friend Chat GPT. Beast, your thoughts?
GPT, huh? You for Mr. Gator, you need a Shmee. Better get up off your ass. Get over here, Shmee.
Rejected. Sorry.
Gator, I think you got an answer there. I don't know. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We got over 400 in here. You think this fan base is juiced up? 400 on a Monday show in July. Football's back, baby. Let's go. Giving away a Garrett Wilson jersey for those just tuning in at the end of the show. Quick plug. I am pushing the audio for the show. We have a huge audio following that is growing. So spread the word to anyone who listens to Jet Podcast that in addition to this show being live on YouTube every day, the replay is available on Apple and Spotify for anyone who misses it live. So check it out. We got some heavy hitters on the line. Here we go. More of your calls. We got a raffle for a Gary jersey at the end of the show. But right now, it's time to say hello to
Purple Belt Mike. He loves the Dark Knight. He's got a green pool and he jumps right in. Maybe someday he'll get a brown belt, but for now he's just that Purple Belt Mike. Purple Belt Mike. He might be purple, but he can still kick your dirty ass.
We're am I muted still? No. All right, we're starting the season 3 and 1. We're gonna shove that big zucchini that Beast got right up Roger's ass, baby. So when he burps, it comes out.
Wow.
Jets, baby. Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, PBM is fired up.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Love it. So this was just sent to me. I'm going to need Beast to confirm. Apparently, this is who Beast learned all the gardening stuff from. None other than Hagrid back at Hogwarts. This does look like Beast. He's holding the same zucchini that we just saw Beast show us.
This is a joke.
Is this you?
Are you seriously smoking a cigarette?
It looks just like you. Is this not real?
I'm sorry. This is blatant garbage. Take this trash and throw it in the estoy a basura, cabrón.
It makes sense though. Hagrid obviously had a garden.
It doesn't belong here. You know, sometimes I wonder if some people don't make any sense.
So are you saying that that's not you and Hagrid?
I do not believe in bullshit. I believe in reality and facts.
Abra zucchini. Give us
so
one of those.
What? So what? But that picture is fake. Do not be referencing bullshit to me
Hey,
when
Beast,
I don't want
Beast,
watch
repeat
like
after me. Abra zucchini.
You know what? You can kiss my ass for that one.
I can't
My
see your ass.
is-
Your mic that's not even plugged in is blocking the screen.
Right.
There we
My
go.
ass right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my big ass. Yeah. Pew, pew, pew. Abracadadoodle.
This is apparently Beast as Peter Pan as well. A lot happening on the show today. Jets also have the pads on for those tuning in late. All right. I know what we need right now. We need an injection of energy on the show. We need someone that is going to tell it to us straight, who's not going to take any nonsense from anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to say hello to Big Cho. Gator says, I think Big Cho might need an intro. Big Cho.
Yeah, it's nice. I like my recliner. No, I just called to check in.
Big Joe.
I don't like all those wrinkles on my head. I don't have that many wrinkles.
We're talking about Big Joe.
My implants are coming in 3 months.
The Kardashian ones?
Put the jet gear on for you. Been running some errands early. Came home just chilling.
Big Joe.
Jake.
Joe.
What's going on with you?
How are you, Big Cho?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm living the dream.
Hey, you know, I was thinking about the Jets over the weekend.
And
I have a really good feeling about Aaron Glenn and the team. You know, I called 9-8 for the season, but I wouldn't be in the 7th seed, but I wouldn't even be surprised maybe 10-7 in the 6th seed.
So 10-7 and the 6th seed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
From your lips to God's ears, Big Cho.
I'm just an optimist. I just got a real good feeling. Glenn's the guy I wanted from the get-go. I know a lot of people didn't want a first-time NFL head coach, but he's been coaching all the other positions and being a DC and coaching under some good people. And I think he's ready, man. So I think he's got the culture right. I think everything's going well. I'm just looking for a real good season.
I'm excited, Big Cho. I like the positivity you're bringing.
I mean, what do you think? 9-8, 10-7 possibility?
I think 9-8 and 10-7 is possible. I think that's probably the ceiling for this team.
Yeah.
Now, great question from Georgie, who wants to know, are you still mad at me, Big Chump?
No, I'm not mad at him. I don't understand why he's got to call me a chump, but other than that, I'm not mad at him.
Well, I'm mad at Georgie.
I mean, does he think I'm a chump? And if he does, I mean, how come? He doesn't even know me.
Exactly. How could anyone call Big Cho Big Chump?
I don't know. I'm definitely not a chump. I know that for a fact.
You're the chosen one.
That's right. Speaking of that, I'm looking forward to Shania coming over later. We're supposed to work on our new show coming up this week.
What's the topic on this week's Big Cho show?
Well, we're going to dive into the merger a little bit more and recap the 1970 NFL season.
Maybe you should call out Georgie on your pod.
Nah, I'm not going to even mention him in my pod, yo. You think he deserves to be mentioned?
I would just call him a chump.
I'd rather mention the Jake Asman show than do that.
Great question from Joe, who wants to know, is Shania coming over for Cho and Chill?
Show and chill. Nah, I mean, we'll chill.
Netflix and Cho?
Nah, we got some work to do.
Big Cho, has anyone ever told you that you're as cool as the other side of the pillow?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Good. Very good.
Are you saying that?
I am.
Nice. Now, let me get this straight. You're on the radio tonight from 7 to 10 or 7 to 9?
7 to 9, and on Thursday from 1 to 3. And as you were talking, Big Cho, my boss just texted me if I could do Friday for Michael as well. So I'm now on Thursday and Friday from 1 to 3 this week.
Now, are all three of those shows on 880?
They are all on 880 ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app.
So it's tonight from 7 to 9, Thursday and Friday from 1 to 3?
Yeah, are you going to Cho and chill? Maybe you have my soothing voice on in the background as you're Cho and chilling?
Almost definitely.
All right.
I'm going to call in. You going to take callers or what?
Oh, definitely. I'll take a ton of callers.
Okay. You like doing that?
I do.
You're going to have me up as a guest during football season or basketball season.
We're gonna bring you in studio to break it all down.
Be nice. Football or basketball.
Dylan says that the last thing he wants to hear is your voice when he's getting freaky. What do you have to say?
Oh, he's getting what?
When he's getting freaky.
I wouldn't want to hear my voice when you're getting freaky either, man.
Would you want to hear Dylan's voice if you were getting freaky?
Negative.
No.
Hey, did you confirm Nick Shine picking me up?
He's bringing the stretch limo, I believe. I haven't heard back from him, though.
Okay. It'll be here sooner or later. I think it's like, what, 12 weeks away? 11 and a half?
Do you want Nick to wear like a full tuxedo when he picks you up?
Nah, he can just wear a sweatsuit and chill.
What about like a suit?
Nah, tell him to wear a nice sweatsuit.
Nice sweatsuit. Got it.
Maybe a Nike one or Adidas or maybe a Jet sweatsuit if he has one.
And should he bring some champagne for you as you are in the limo?
Nah, we don't have to go all out on that. I'll probably have some Jets gear on.
Let's see. This is an interesting comment here from your arch nemesis, Georgie. He says, Big Chump can't get freaky with that bad back.
Wow. What is the deal with Georgie? And why is he on me? What's up?
Is he right? You can't get freaky with your bad back, Big Joe?
No, he's not right.
Hell yeah.
Definitely not. But I'm trying to see why he's on my balls, man.
Georgie just wrote, I'm picking you up, Joe. We could fight and then go to the game together.
That'll work. Does he live up in New York?
Who would you rather pick you up, Nick Shine or Georgie?
Well, Nick volunteered first, so we'll go with Nick.
He did volunteer. That is correct.
Yeah, we'll go with him. I wish your lazy ass could pick me up, but you don't have a car.
I'm lazy because I don't have a car?
I'm just playing, man.
I don't need a car, Big Cho. I live in Manhattan.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
I'd be paying hundreds of dollars a month for it to just sit and do nothing.
I wouldn't want to drive around New York anyway.
Yeah.
What do you take, like the subway, or when you want to get around, or the bus, or a taxi, or Uber?
Yeah, public transportation. And then sometimes Beast lends me his broom and I fly around like Harry Potter did.
Oh, nice. Now, is public transportation expensive?
Well, the subway is about $2.90 right now. Same thing with the bus. So it's definitely a great deal compared to a taxi or a cab or an Uber.
Which one's cheaper?
Between a cab and an Uber?
Yeah.
It depends on where you're going, the time of day. Sometimes an Uber could be cheaper. Sometimes it's a cab. You got to get a feel for where you're going or the time of day.
Do you trust those Uber people to drive you around the city?
Yeah, I mean, I first met Nick Shine when he was an Uber driver. That's how he picked me up from the airport once upon a time.
Oh, really? He's the Uber driver?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
nice.
He was in his previous job.
Oh, okay.
He picked me up and he said, "Are you Jake Asman? I love your show. I love the Jets." And we started a friendship from there. And I said to him then, I go, one day I'm going to be doing a listener meetup for a Jets-Panthers game in 2025. And you're going to pick up this guy from North Carolina from the airport and take him to his hotel and then to the game.
That'd be nice. Listen, if he picks me up, we'll go out to lunch. I'll get him lunch.
That's very nice of you, Big Cho.
Yeah. Lunch is on me if he picks me up.
Now that's an enticing offer right there.
Is he listening now or no?
I'm not sure. He might be. He might be between stops on the Uber route today.
Oh, he's still Ubering? I thought you said he wasn't Ubering anymore, Jake.
I think he does it on a part-time basis.
Oh, speaking of jobs, did our man Bobby get one yet?
Is water wet?
Water is wet.
Bobby Midnight did not get a job then.
Oh.
Neither did Charles Gorman.
J-O-B, job.
Charles hasn't got a job either?
He has not.
Why do you think these guys aren't getting a job? It's just like jobs are hard to come by. Or do they live in New York City?
They do not.
Where do they live?
Charles lives in New Jersey. Bobby lives in Vermont.
So, I mean, are the jobs hard to come by, or is it them?
Well, they've interviewed for some spots, but it hasn't worked out just yet.
Do you think it's because of them, or do you think it's because of jobs are scarce?
I think it's a combination of the two. I think we could certainly question the motivation of Gorman. It's tough to believe that he actually wants a job when he recently said this on the show.
People think I don't want to work, which is not true. I just had a bit of a nap not too long ago, too, so that didn't help.
Love it, dude.
You're talking about how people don't.
You can't say that people think you don't want a job and then say that you came off a real good nap. It's a hard two sentences to put together, Charles. It is. You got Jake off the camera.
How do you not see the irony of that, Charles? This is why Charles is the best of the best.
Yeah, I can see why you don't get a job if you're taking a nap and not pounding the street for a job. You're napping.
It is a real problem, Big Joe. It's an epidemic with Gorman.
Let me ask you a question. You might not even know this, but like Charles just moved into his own place, correct?
Correct.
Now, how does he afford a place in New Jersey when he doesn't have a job?
It's a question that no one seems to have the answer to, Big Joe. We haven't cracked the case yet.
I mean, is his folks paying for his rent while he's trying to get a job, or?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's your taxes that are paying for Charles Gorman to live on his own.
Wouldn't be mine. I'm in North Carolina. You said he lives in New Jersey, right?
He does.
Okay. You talked to Beast lately?
About 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I like Beast, man. You know, at the beginning, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't know how to take him, but he's really grown on me, man. He's one of my favorites.
Men like us. Buenos dias there, El Show. ¿Cómo está, amigo?
What's up, Beast? I was just saying at the beginning when I first listened to you, it was hard to take you, but you've really grown on me, man. You're one of my favorites.
They don't make men like us anymore. And I've tried even getting Charles a lawn care job. I offered him the $30 for appetizers. Turned me down. I've tried. I can't do anything. It's like you ever get punched in the face and ask for more?
Negative.
Okay, good. I know I have. I've done. I can't do anymore. It's like you can lead a horse to a lot of things, but you can't make the bastards drink.
Hey, now do you live in a home where you have like a lawn and everything?
I take care of my stuff. I got my own lawnmower. I take good care of. I'm looking for a weed eater right now. One of those little weed, for weeds. Because I get weeds all the time, but I'm not worried about that. But hey, I hope you have a great podcast, a great future. You're actually going to make it real big, kid. You're going to make it big here.
Appreciate it, Beast.
Hey, question. So are you planning to go to football games this year?
Well, the Jets game?
Yes, that's number one.
Yeah, I'm going to be at the Meetup against the Panthers in October. I'll definitely be there. I already got my tickets for a hotel, tickets for the game, and my airplane ticket.
Very good, very good. But hey, like I'm gonna tell you right here, I'm gonna be there, but in spirit. And you know why? They don't make real men like us anymore. You know why? Today's men have no guts. I mean, we're the only real men left on the planet because most of today's men have either hid in the closet or don't have the heart for the game anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dear Lord. You know, I remember what one of the guys said on the Bill Parcells DVD.
Prove your claim that people walked on the moon. Men don't die for no reason at all. How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon?
The latest from Gator that was just sent to me during the Beast and Big Cho meeting of the minds. Now, that rant from Gary is right now in second place in polling. Mets 2-1-2-8 is leading. Gary's rant on the moon landing is in second place in the Azzie Awards. Vote, vote, vote for your chance to determine who wins. Simple as that. Couple calls left, then we'll give away a Garrett Wilson jersey to those of you who are tuned in live right now. Let's see. By the way, Flight Risk Jets referred to Beast as backbreaker. So there you go. Also, don't think I forgot about JR3 gifting a 5-spot of channel memberships. He's in the raffle for 5. And Abu Dhabi Jet fan says, as long as AG doesn't give Beningo his number, it's a massive coaching upgrade. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, my God.
We are mama way.
All right, home stretch here. Adam is up next. What's up, Adam?
Hey, oh man, the Mets rant's got to win. I mean, that was just like borderline Seinfeldian, like just going in circles, and everybody knew it. You didn't have to take a stand. It was like, whether you believe in the moon landing or not, that's a thing. But like, there is no doubt in my mind.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So good.
Yeah, but also let's not forget about this iconic one.
Weed's more likable than you fucking old cunt.
Fuck yourself, you piece of
Go
shit.
fuck
yourself. You.
Well, that escalated quickly. Jesus, come on, gentlemen.
Well, first of all, I'm not a trade you, asshole.
Yeah, you are. You are.
You're a fucking asshole too. So
you, asshole. Watch your fucking mouth.
That's the end of that rumble. Jesus. Oh my God.
I mean, it was I don't like it when the Asmaniacs fight against each other. It's just a little sad. Like, we're an open town. I mean, just look at the two you just had on. You had like the chillest dude in Big Chill Cho. And then you got Beastbreaker bringing totally different energy. I mean, and then you multiply them together, and I like that kind of stuff personally. We can't be infighting. We're one Jets family, but I understand where families got fights. But whatever.
It does happen. I am surprised the David T rant from Bobby's not doing better.
shut up, Dave. I can't stand Santa Claus. Shut the fuck up, Santa Claus. You
I'm
fucking eye. Oh, look at my eye. Oh, look at my eye.
You seem like you're in a good mood and ready to go for 20 more hours.
Spirit. That's mean spirited, man. Like,
yeah. How do you go after David T? David T's the nicest guy to ever live. Bobby completely lost his mind on him.
He can get a lump of coal in his stock, and that's what's going to happen.
Hey, real quick, Beast just wrote in, my ass is not a TV set. What do you mean it's not? I just saw your ass, Beast. It is a TV set.
Unfortunately, if you want a real man's TV, I got the biggest, best one right here. A 35-inch JVC TV from the 90s. It still works. It's still cool. It's still hip. And it has more firepower than any of that bullshit that we all see in today's world. So put that in your pipe and smoke it if you can find it.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. Thank you, Beast.
Oh, my God. Oh, I love Beast. He's the man. So, got a Jets question for you for sure.
Yes, sir.
What do you think the probability is right now that Breece Hall is not RB1 at the end of the preseason?
And you're saying he's not injured?
Let's assume he's not injured. But is there a path for Braylon Allen to actually surprise the world and be RB1?
I don't think so. I think they're going to go with Breece. Just the way Glenn's talked about Breece and what Breece has said about how they're using him and the RPOs. I think Braylon Allen's going to have a role. Like, we're going to see a lot of Braylon Allen.
Yeah.
I think, and I think it's interesting. Breece is still going to be their number one playmaking running back. But what Glenn said today, I took down in my notes when we played the presser earlier, talking about how they had Breece out wide. I'm pretty sure he referenced with Braylon also being on the field out of the backfield. Like, realistically, Breece is probably their second or third best pass catcher on the team as far as like design a play, ball in his hands.
Yeah,
you want him to be able to make plays. Like, I know Reynolds is technically the number 2 wide receiver, but I think it's still Breece's like job as RB1 going into the year as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, I think a lot of times though it's kind of a convenient thing for us Jets fans to be like, oh, we got to find our Gibbs in Montgomery, but like, we don't have to mimic that to the T. We can let Breece be Breece. We can see what Braylon's got beyond the basic stuff that we asked them to do last year with the offensive staff. That I don't have to go any further. So it'll be interesting to see, because I think when you look at Braylon's production in college, he was a bell cow. He did everything. So why limit him? What if he can do the Breece plays? And then all of a sudden things get very interesting when you start figuring out who do you want to be the starter. And maybe it's committee, but maybe the committee is more evenly weighted than we realize.
That's fine. I mean, look, Breece might be a guy that maybe is better suited for that type of role, because like Breece just needs one play and he can go. Braylon Allen doesn't strike me as a guy that's one play and he's going to go. It's going to be like a brutality down the field with him taking multiple carries. Like Breece, we've seen Breece at his best. He can make a bunch of guys miss and just take off and go. Like Breece Hall's had moments where it's like he's one play from breaking that home run. You want that balance in your running attack. And then Fields has that ability too. That's why Tanner Engstrand, his job is to maximize the talent in that running game. That should be the focal point of the offense.
Definitely. I think the depth is really good. And also kind of repeat what a lot of folks are probably saying today, like real props to the draft class so far for like AZ, Thomas, and Malachi Moore to already be like hitting the ground running and producing and getting really good praise from the coaching staff. That's great, because I think that was a question that we had on the defensive depth chart. And it just seems like they're going to have some difficult choices, which is a good thing to have, because it just means the floor of the team is higher, which is, I think, the main goal for this year. Raise the floor. I mean, I don't know where we are at now with the win total. Are we still at 5.5, or did that creep up to 6? But
I think the most sports books still have it around 5.5.
Yeah. I mean, the moment that Fields' injury happened, my immediate thought was buy the over, because what if it was blown out of proportion? Like, buy on the dip, as they say, right? So, at any rate, I think that they're going to do better than that, and can't wait for the season. I mean, this has been a great week one. Now with the pads are on, we're going to really see some people unleashed, and I can't wait to see some big hits from the edges that'll help us, feel a little bit better about kind of where we're at. Not on our quarterbacks, of course, but on the linemen.
Love it. Adam, excellent call as usual, my friend. Great points. Braylon Allen will not be RB1 going into the year without a Brees injury, but he's going to have a big role in this team. Just listen to Glenn talk about him. J-Boy, speaking of Braylon Allen, he's got Braylon Allen in his icon there. He's in the raffle for another entry. Maybe we'll do a Braylon Allen jersey giveaway at some point. We've done a lot of Garrett Sauce with their contracts being extended and a lot of Justin Fields. Maybe we'll do a Braylon Allen one this week. Which Jets players would you guys want a jersey giveaway for besides the ones we've done? Would a Jamie Sherwood jersey be intriguing? I'm trying to pick guys that we know will be here. Quinnen is a safe one. Mason Taylor is a safe one. The Human Fund. Olu's a safe one. Membu's a safe one. Do people want lineman jerseys? He's in the raffle for one. Good luck to the Human Fund. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. By the way, Javid G is a recipient of that membership there that was gifted. And J-Boy's membership went to Joe Rod. All right. Home stretch of the show. This guy is up for an Azzie. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Prove your claim that people walked on the moon.
Men don't die for no reason at all.
How does men don't die for no reason prove that people walked on the moon? Your evidence is that you were alive when someone claimed to have walked on the moon.
I was living then, yes.
What does that prove?
I believe in achievement. I believe in a space program.
You believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon. That's your argument?
I believe people didn't lie to us like you.
I believe in achievement. Therefore, people walked on the moon?
It was like arguing with the most irrational woman that's ever lived. It was that bad. It was the most nonsensical thing I'd ever heard anyone argue. I still don't understand what his evidence was that of this crazy idea that people walked on the moon, that he was alive, therefore people walked on the moon. It was. That being said, I heard an interview with Allen Iverson once. We were talking about the crazy 96 NBA draft. And he said, if I was the 76ers, I would have picked Kobe Bryant number one. If I was y'all, I would vote for Mets fan in this one. That's who I voted for. That was all-time great.
It was. I'll play the full thing if he ends up winning.
I don't even know what is that was the greatest thing ever. That was. I want to vote for me, but I have to be fair here. Mets fans deserve. And then I would vote for Bobby over me too.
Also, what are your thoughts on being on Beast Ass there?
That's a weird setup you did there, Gator. That's a weird setup. That's all.
It's definitely weird, but I wanted to play the clips, but I didn't have time because StreamYard sucks and pulling clips. So I couldn't get it like each one bite-sized to play, so we needed to use Beast's fat ass to make it happen, but it worked. Beast, thank you for having a great ass, all right?
Oh, ha, 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 ha. In the words of the great Walter Matthau, oh, ho, hee, ha.
Beast, how about in the words of yourself? Do you have any of your own thoughts?
If the $1 million man can take it, he can take it to the bank. Ha, 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 ha.
Rejected. Sorry.
Even that, he had no original words on his own.
Nothing. What is his diagnosis? What does he have? Like what is with like what's his thing? Like,
man's man.
Yeah, that's not it. Interesting character. Yeah, I'm seriously. If he just ate clean, if he took out all preservatives, all sugars, all carbs, and just ate clean, he'd be 70% better. I guarantee it. That is almost, I would say it's 70% diet based, 30% of it's epigenetic. But if he just cleaned up his diet and stopped eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch in the morning, he'd be 70% better. It would be. It's a shame. You don't see this in other countries. Like they don't have this. They don't. This is a uniquely an American issue.
What's wrong with what he's doing, though? I mean, he's retired at age 41. It's going pretty well.
Well, that's good. If that's legitimate, if he's actually retired and he never needs to work, I think it's good. I think if you can retire at 41 and you're not doing your passion, you're not doing something that you draw passion from, if you're just taking up a job, let someone else have the job if you don't need it. There's a finite amount of jobs. If you don't need it, let someone else have it. I think that's fantastic. If
he's paid his dues. I mean, he's a retired man now.
If that's legitimate, let someone else have it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't need the job, if you don't need to work, let someone else have the job. There's a finite amount of jobs. Let someone else have it.
Flight Risk thinks you're the GOAT.
Thank you. Each person that retire opens up one job, and that's one job for Bobby. That's one job for Chaz. It's one more job. So if you can retire, retire. Do we know what B said he did? What did he do?
He won 31 world titles. What do you mean?
in world titles in what?
You know, in everything. In life.
Could he eat more chicken nuggets than Carly in 10 minutes?
No one can. I mean, I witnessed that. That was a grotesque performance, but one for the record books.
Did Carly take his world title? Did Carly break his world record? Is that whose record she broke?
Only for Beast to then win it back immediately.
We should have that. We should have that on. It'd be a pay-per-view. You got to pay for it. $10 a pop. But Beast versus Carly in a chicken nugget eating contest.
Beast versus Joey Chestnut in the hot dog eating contest. Two goats head to head.
How long has he been doing it? I feel like Joey Chestnut was winning this when I lived in New York City, like 15 years ago. How long has he been doing this?
I think he won his first mustard belt title in 07.
But see, yeah. I feel like and before that you had the Japanese guy Kobayashi. Did you ever see Man vs. Beast where they had Kobayashi against the bear, the hot dog eating contest? Did you ever see this?
I have. I saw the documentary.
the bear was housing those hot dogs. But we can laugh at it, but Joey Chestnut does this every year. He's got to have some kind of talent or skill set to be able to win this every year. We're going on 20 years.
I think Dave Brigga just said that you have squash for brains.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Dave. I can't. It's like arguing with the most irrational, over-emotional woman ever to ever live. It's.
You think Dave Brigga's a woman?
No, I don't think he's got like woman parts or you know, 2 X chromosomes. But he argues and rationalizes like a woman. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Really?
Don't bring him up. I don't want to. I got like 5 minutes. I gotta go. I don't.
He's not even on. He's not even online right now.
God, bring him on, Brigger.
He's not online. Clearly, you don't come from the school of Brigga University, though. You have no respect.
Clearly, I do not. Clearly, no.
Have some respect for Brigga U.
I got to wrap up. I gotta go.
He also did write in, "You're an idiot" as well.
That's awesome, Dave. Thanks for your time. All right. Duly noted. Appreciate you.
Any other thoughts before you got to go?
Nah, I got to wrap. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you.
Maybe give the audience a quick point, perhaps.
Oh, one of the guys in my pictures is Xander Zaya. Shout out to Xander Zaya. Shout out to V-Man, another Puerto Rican world champion. One of the guys I just won a world title on Saturday. Xander Zaya.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he goes. The man who points.
He's pointing. Garrett Box, point at you. Garrett Box, he point at you. Garrett Box, I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. I'm pointing. Garrett Box, point at you. I point.
Gary, one of the greats. Love him or hate him. You watch. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone loves this guy. Bo C in the house. How about 5 gifted memberships? Bo knows.
Bo knows football. Bo knows baseball. Bo knows tennis. Bo knows basketball, too.
Bo knows channel memberships.
Mark O, Robert Johnson. Hey, Woody. Carlos Santos, Carl, Sack Dance 99, all receiving a channel membership. Unbelievable. Appreciate all of you who gifted. Reminder, our top prize, and more are coming, by the way, is a Joe Namath jersey this week. But right now, we're about to give away a Garrett Wilson jersey. But our last caller literally just called in, and we're going to put him on the show because we have his big-time event on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, there are about 15 spots left. If you want to join us at the Cloverleaf Tavern after the green and white scrimmage this Saturday, Jets training camp, Meetup of champions, food, drinks, giveaways, merch. It's going to be a great time. And our guy, the man who's making it all happen for us, Chef Kevin, is on the line. What's up, Kev? It's game week, baby.
Hey, come on, man. Let's go, man. I'm ready. I'm hyped. I was at training camp this past Saturday, man. Yo, it was something special, man. I like all the takeaways from the people that were there, but you know me, man. I gotta keep it real with you, man. I gotta keep it real with the Asmaniacs just on what I saw, and what I saw was good, man. I can't jump out the window and say that, you know, I'm really high on Reynolds because he had one good catch on Sauce. Like, you know, I need to see a little bit more. There was no pads on. Like, you know, we gotta be honest with ourselves when we're looking at everything. Kicking situation, you know, that'll get figured out and everything. But when you're talking about offense, like, yo, Tyrod, man, like, you know, feel really good with the backup situation. Obviously, Fields, you know, he's our guy, man. You know, trust him with running around, scrambling, hitting people. Like, Fields didn't look like a slouch at all. He looked like he had a good presence. He was hitting Garrett. Garrett didn't have, and I'm just going off of this past Saturday, man. Garrett didn't have that, you know, 65, 70-yard bomb catch like last year with Rodgers and getting crowned and all that kind of stuff. He did his thing when he was targeted, you know, so, you know, we can definitely feel good with that. But with how the offense was looking, man, Braylon, man, he was really impressive, man. Like, to see what Braylon and Brees can do in that backfield, just like with the Lions, what they did with Gibbs and Montgomery, man. Like, you know, we could feel excited knowing about what's getting ready to come, man. You know, and then just get ready with the defense too. You know, with them, Cisco has a presence out there, man. Tony Adams, you know, you say what you want about him during those one-on-one drills when they were doing it for the fans, it was getting all amped up. Yo, Matt said it yesterday, man. Like, taking off his helmet, yelling, getting amped up. Like, this is what we need, man. We need this energy, man. Because last year and the years prior, don't get me wrong, you know, it was cool and all that, but it literally seemed like these guys were engaged. It was like back to basics, man. We rolled up at 8 o'clock, man. We walked in to Florham Park at 8 o'clock, and guess who was on the field? The whole damn team. Yo, the whole damn team was on the field. Jake, we was at the green and white scrimmage last year. Yo, we waited till about 10 o'clock, 10:30 until they all came walking out, you know, chanting Rodgers and everything like that. Yo, these guys, training camp ended at like 10:15, 10:30. I'm like, yo, this is like, they got some business to do. They wasn't signing a bunch of autographs either. We were lucky to get Olu. Olu signed a couple things for us. Really great guy. The origin story, man, you know, amazing, man. Like, I didn't know he was a part of that high school game that was going back and forth at the end. Like, dude, it's to see where he came from and all that, and to see him yesterday on Saturday. He literally grabbed Membu over the shoulder, like, yo, get over here. Let's walk to the stands, man. Let's sign some autographs. You could tell that Olu was already taking Membu under his wing and showing him the ropes. That's what you want to see, man. Our two anchors, man, on the line, the two tackles. This is what we got to see, man. Unison, going to the people, man. Talking a little bit, giving some autographs, and then going, man. You know, you got to love that stuff, man.
Chef Kev, we might have to talk about maybe moving up the start time then for the event Saturday. Maybe we instead of 2, we do like, I don't know, maybe like 12:30, right? I mean, if they're going to be done early, we think again, like we'll have a lot of people just like showing up early anyway. Maybe we start at like 12:30 and end earlier.
Hey, man, we already got some Asmaniac Madness participants that, you know, I've already been in contact with. We got them set up. There's some that don't have tickets that can't make it, you know, unfortunately. So I did say, hey, you know, training camp will probably end a little early. We'll probably do some things. Yeah, so we could talk about it right now. 12:30, 1 o'clock, man. Y'all can show up. Hey, we got this room, man. We got the room. It's locked in. I got a bunch of servers. Other Half Brewing, man. If y'all don't know about Other Half Brewing, man, yo, they got these beers, man. I don't know if y'all know about Other Half like that, but they're one of the biggest in the country, man. And we're gonna have 6 different types of beers available. We're getting 3 rare beers on draft, man. And don't forget, man, I got the food. The food will be here, man. Y'all can count on a great time, man. We're not gonna disappoint. As Maniacs come, it's gonna be a great time. My birthday's August 1st. I saw on the forecast that it's gonna be raining, which I'm cool with, man. Let it rain on my birthday, let it rain on Friday, because what I saw on Saturday, 78, 80 degrees. Dude, it's gonna be beautiful. Let's go, man. Let's go to training camp. The vibes is there, man. Afterwards, come to the spot, man. We got the drinks flowing, man. Anybody who's not a big drinker, don't worry about that. We got the mocktails. The food is gonna be epic, man. I got the Asmaniac menu, man.
Let's go.
The Gabagool Beast, man. You know we good, man. We got the Gabagool Beast sliders, man. That's gonna be rocking. Jake's baked potato. I'm sure. I'm guaranteeing this, man. Jake, my baked potato that's yours is gonna be the top 3 best baked potatoes you ever had, man. I'm putting my stamp on that. But you got to be real with me. If it ain't in the top 3, please let me know, man. And then of course, the Roseanne inspired chicken noodle soup, man. Already was talking to Gorman, man. He's ready. He's with it, man. We got the A-listers, man. They all gonna be here, man. Show up, man. Gonna have a great time.
Hell yeah, Kev, you're the man. I'll shoot you an email and we could lock in a time and we'll alert everyone that RSVP'd, because I saw like 8:30. It's probably gonna be a little longer of a practice because it's green and white scrimmage, but I mean, about 30 minutes from the facility. We're probably talking about like practice being done by like 11:30ish, in that range. Some autographs being signed. Like if we did 12:30, I think it might work for more people. So we'll figure something out. But we're a go for Saturday, people. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll be going out to camp in the morning and interacting with a bunch of Asmaniacs also there. If anyone has extra tickets, that is the most requested date by people. I didn't even have any for myself until, shout out to Nate, he sent me a ticket. So I'm personally set, but I have a ton of listeners who really want to go to Saturday that need tickets. So if anyone has extras, please shoot them my way, and we will get them to some Jet fans who could use them, and take people who have never been, or take young kids. We had a bunch who went this past week, which was great. So that's awesome. All right. It is almost raffle time. I have all the names ready, but if anyone else wants to still join the raffle, you certainly can. J-Boy did, Bo C, they were the most recent ones. One last call, and this call is important for us to take. I know it's already been a long show, but we're going to check in with a guy who I met once upon a time in an Uber. Now he's a big YouTube star in his own right, and he'll be pulling out the stretch limo for Big Cho when Big Cho's in town for Jets Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shines with us. Hello, Nick.
Get out of here. The call dropped.
Nick, thanks for the time. Appreciate you. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hey, I'm sitting here. I'm doing some food prep. I'm cooking my grilled chicken. I'm at my sister's house, and just wanted to give a shout out to this seasoning, Lane's Barbecue. Lane's got a whole big franchise we were unaware of. It's tremendous. That's it. So, yeah, looking forward to Saturday. I'm trying to get some tickets for camp. I was thinking if it doesn't come through with tickets, then it's not that big of a deal because, the time of the event and everything, like you were saying. But if you guys are moving it up, then that changes the whole game plan for the day. So if anyone does have them, please, I need a couple. I got Jay Graves, my son, and Mark Reese coming, and potentially Charles, depending on what time the event is. So please,
Charles Gorman. We'll probably aim around 12:31. I'll get with Chef Kev, just because if they're gonna start the practice at 8:30, I mean, waiting till 2 o'clock, like it's just easier for people to go right from camp to Cloverleaf.
Yeah. Also, listen, I know it's camp. I know we're Jets fans. I like the mentality of this team. I like the preparation. I like that they're doing things. I love that. Listen, I'm very big since I flipped my whole life around on self-awareness, right? And self-assessment. And I love that Aaron Glenn came in and said, yeah, we committed too many penalties. We're going to change that. We couldn't tackle very well. We're going to change that. So this is a good sign for the Jets, not just addressing the past, but things that will come up in the future. Issues, mistakes are going to get addressed. Ruckert with a false start immediately gets pulled out of the game. There's going to be accountability. Jets fans, I know we're not too familiar with the word, but Google accountability. It's a really good thing, especially in a professional sport where you're getting paid. So I love how it's being built, right? It's not fluff. It's not flash. There's actual substance to this that can pay off long-term for us. And I really love the way Glenn is putting all this together, man. I do.
Nick, are you ready to pick up Big Cho and carry him like a backpack?
Oh, Jake, you're cutting out. I can't hear you. What?
I said, are you ready to pick up Big Cho and carry him like a backpack?
I mean, still a no. Still a no. But if there's like I said, man, that's a rough day, man. I got, family plans that day. Like I'm not available.
I see.
If you need a ride, I got you. If Rick, Ken, or Addison or Knob were coming in, I'd make time. But I'll go out of my way to help my friends. No disrespect to Cho, but I mean, we don't know one another.
But he's the chosen one.
All right, I'm choosing other plans that day, so we're on the same.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry.
Nick Shine. Stunning turn of events.
You get the fuck out.
Someone's got to break the news to Big Cho that Nick Shine's not going to pick him up. Maybe Nick will change his mind. Ladies and gentlemen, before we do the raffle, let's declare a winner in the Azzie Awards for the biggest meltdown. The winner, and it didn't win by much. This was highly competitive. But the winner is Mets2128 when he said, "You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch."
Yeah. I will play the full rant, the full call at the end of the stream. Yes and no. Also an iconic part of that one. Afternoon stream today. We got a great award, the Keyboard Warrior Award. These 4 nominees all have big roles on the show without ever having called in once. Rich, Chris B, Tom Ace, and Bill M. So that's this afternoon. As the Azzie Awards continue. With that said, it is time to give away a Garrett Wilson jersey. The last person that entered just in time was Michael Duramo, who gifted 5 channel memberships. Thank you, Michael. Also, Jack, I see your super chat here. I know about dark magic. The reason why we're cursed is because Jake keeps opening the umbrella inside. Otherwise, great show and content. Jack, family business is the umbrellas, the Gustbuster. So the Jets were cursed long before 1998 when that company started. But I appreciate you tuned into the show. All right. On that note, let's give out a third Jet-related prize in the same stream. We're spinning the wheel for a third time. It is time to give away a Garrett Wilson jersey right after this.
It's time to announce the winners of the weekly Asmaniac raffle. Let's spin the Jake Asman Show Wheel of Champions and find out which Asmaniac is winning an epic prize.
You see the wheel on the screen. Now you hear the dramatic music that is playing. Only one can win. If you don't win, you are entered in our weekly raffle prizes, which this week features already our top prize of a Joe Namath signed jersey. Good luck to everyone. Please, please, please shoot me an email if you do win with your name, your address, your size for the jersey, and the color you want the jersey in, green or white. Good luck to all. The winner of the G5 jersey is The Jordan Show. Now, I think this spell check on the computer I'm on actually changed the Jordo Show to the Jordan show who's the winner, but I'm going to confirm that right now. Yep, it is, in fact, the Jorno show, 10:54 a.m. He sent in this super chat that earned him 2 tickets. In the AG clip talking about penalties, he said we can't have MAs. What's an MA? And that's what won the Jordo show, his Garrett Wilson jersey. So Jordo show, if you're out there, AsmanJake@gmail.com, and we will make sure that we get you your jersey. Again, congrats to everybody. You guys are the best. Couldn't have done this show or any of these shows without the community. So we will talk to you guys soon. We're back this afternoon. And look, in honor of Mets 2-1-2-8's triumphant win, I think we need the full call. The original meltdown that won the Azzie for the meltdown of the year. Enjoy in its entirety. All right, more of your calls right now before we wrap. Mets 2-1-2-8 is up next this segment. What's up, Mets?
Not much. It's been a while since I've been on, Jake.
Where you been?
Not much. Putting in my hours on the grind over at Lowe's. Doing stuff mostly involving wrestling and baseball, going to comic conventions, that sort of stuff.
Comic conventions?
Mm-hmm.
Which comic convention were you at most recently?
Micro convention, not far from my house.
Where are you based?
Concord. In North Carolina, not New Hampshire.
Okay. I was going to say, because you and Charles Gorman should link up.
Anyway, as far as the whole deal with the whole Jets disrespect, I mean, let's face it. Last year, the Jets shot themselves in the foot by basically letting Aaron Rodgers throw his weight around. In hindsight, it was a mistake to recruit him. You know what I mean?
Well, it didn't work. I still think it was the right move to go after him. Unfortunately, him getting hurt 4 plays in changed the entire course of what could have been.
And then last year, he started acting like a tyrant.
Well, last year, I think the biggest problem was they were so poorly coached, and then they fired Robert Saleh, which lit the season on fire at 2-3.
Yeah, made things worse.
Correct.
But in any case, now that he's gone and Justin Fields comes in, given that he's now being hedged by a guy who is both a legacy Jet player in Aaron Glenn and a guy who has been bred in the NFC North as a coach in Aaron Glenn, made me think this will give Fields someone he's more comfortable to work with. Because let's face it, in my view, when he was in Pittsburgh last year, Fields basically got cheated out of the job because Russell was throwing his weight around.
Now, let me ask you this. You think the Jets are going to be able to cultivate a young quarterback? Their history is not great doing that at all.
True. But at least unlike most rookies, especially a certain milk chaser, at least that's the accusations against Wilson.
Did you say milk chaser?
MILF.
Oh, what's a MILF?
Older women with a big bust.
Big butt?
Bust. Front.
Bust? Like a Hall of Fame bust? Like that you see in like Canton, Ohio?
Chest bust.
A what bust?
Chest bust.
A chest bust?
Older woman with a big rack.
Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeesh.
Hey, speaking of big racks. Thoughts?
I'm going to be sick.
Really? No, come on. Don't discriminate against boobs, Mets 2-1-2-8. We don't discriminate against boobs on this show.
You're literally trying to kill me, Jake.
Kill you? Mets, I don't want to kill you. I'm just trying to get you to not discriminate.
I'm saying I'm about to die from laughter with this.
You okay there, Mets?
Yeah, I'm just done with the call.
Yeah? Yeah. Are you going to call back again?
Maybe in the future, just not the immediate.
By the way, is your actual name Mets 2128? Is that a government name?
No.
No? You want me to refer to you as just Mets? Do you have a name?
Yes.
You just go by Mets?
Yeah. For most other content creators, I go by that.
Okay. So I'll call you Mr. Mets 2128 if you want me to be more formal.
No, thank you.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today. Excellent call.
Thank you.
You get the fuck out.
Mets 2128 is up next this segment. What's up, Mets?
Not much. Doing stuff.
Thoughts?
I'm going to be sick. You're literally trying to kill me, Jake. Hello.
You okay there, Mets?
Yeah, I'm just done with the call.
Are you going to call back again?
I'll pass.
Can you at least think about it?
I'll think about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time today. Excellent call.
You get the fuck out.
Mets 2128. Oh, boy. Hello, Mets.
For me, the fact that he barely used guys like a Chua, Shamit,
He did use his bench.
but the fact that it took him that damn long to do it is what frustrates me.
So that's a fireable offense in your eyes?
No, I would have wanted it to go at least another couple of years.
You're agreeing with me. They shouldn't have fired him. Did you want him gone after the season concluded? Yes or no?
Yes and no.
It can't be yes and no. It's either yes or no.
Yes. All I'm saying is...
What are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're talking out of both
How about
sides
you
of
quit
your
cutting
mouth.
me off, you son of a bitch?
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, what a moment.
You get the fuck out.
Boy, do we have a treat for you right now.
You son of a bitch.
Hello, Mets 212. How are you, Mets?
I think I might have overreacted. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say they shouldn't have fired him next year. They should fire him this year, rehire him, and then fire him. The overtaxing the front five, and it's frustrating. And you know what I'm saying is they got to pivot defensively and got to go to a 10-man rotation. And even Nate yesterday, he was, Nate, get out of here. He's all like a woolly mammoth. Get out of here, Nate. I'm sorry, Jake. Ah, you son of a bitch!
It's okay, Mets. Take a breath.
Let me finish!
Okay.
You're cutting me off, you son of a bitch!
Would you like me to ask you a yes or no question?
Yes and no. You're a Yankee fan too. Ah, suck.
Thank you for your time.
You son of a bitch.
Gator got me so good there because he hadn't done that in a while as far as a fake call is on the line and then he flips it. So I didn't even vet if that was actually Mets or not. A throwback Gator call there. Well done, Mr. McCluskey.
You get the fuck out.
Hey, here's the deal. Just got no chance unless you click on that like button. And you gotta make sure you subscribe to the Jake Asman Show. You don't, you can get the fuck out. Now let's go, Asmaniacs. We're built for this shit.